mic on? Oh, there it is. Welcome in, everybody. PWHL live stream. Woo woo! New York Sirens, Ottawa Charge. Getting going here. Sorry, I'm posting today's clip on TikTok right now. How's everybody feeling? So for those who aren't super hip, this game's about to get going, but all these games are free on YouTube right now. So you can watch along with, just by opening up another tab on YouTube. So it's super easy. It's free. There's nothing really extra you got to do. And nice abrupt cutoff there, Tim. We're teaching Tim the ropes here of the board. We're about to get underway here. This is actually going to be a good game. We are underway. TD Place, home of the Ottawa 67s of the Ontario Hockey League. Thanks to anybody that's tuning in right now. Yeah, just posting this right now. Okay. All right. We are underway. This is an important game. So these two teams are in last place right now. But Ottawa is just a game out of the playoffs right now. So this is must win for them. Oh, New York almost just put one in the net. Puck was sitting loose in the crease. Still some really, that's the thing with the PWHL being at 6 teams right now, is that all these teams are still like really talented. There's a lot of good players on the outside looking in for these teams. There's a lot of good players playing over in Europe. There is, there's just a lot happening. So Jack Skilly wants me to collab on this post with him right now. For those of you that did not listen to our episode yesterday and check out our interview with former Chicago Blackhawk Jack Skilly, you definitely should go ahead and check that out. So let me see. Can I still invite collaborator Jack Skilly? Said he needs a post on Instagram today, so there you go. There you go, Jack. You guys are awesome. Thank you, everybody, for... Oh, quick shot, almost. Shots are 4-0 New York already. I will get more into this game here in a second. I'm not... This is the first time I've done a stream by myself, so I know I'm not Lee here or Justin, but yeah, this is going to be fun. Tassos, how are we feeling about the Alejandro Kirk deal? I like it. I like it a lot. Now you got to get Vladdy and Bo done. So these two teams played the other day. Ottawa won that game 5-2, but the highlight of that one was Abby Rock being the first PWHL player to score on the Michigan. That was pretty sweet. I don't know if anybody caught that, but that was really cool. No, this is not a Finland jersey. This is a Team Greece jersey. This is what everybody's going to be wearing. Shout out, my women's team will be playing for the first time. So that's super exciting. That's why I'm wearing this jersey on this stream right now. Shout out women's hockey. We will be playing in Chicago. I don't know who the women's team is going to be playing yet. We thought we were going to play Lebanon and Puerto Rico, but Lebanon's not bringing their team. So we might do a 3-game series against the Puerto Rico national team. And then the men are playing Jamaica, Puerto Rico, and Lebanon. So super pumped for that. That's going to be really cool. If you're in the Chicagoland area, we will probably set up a little bit. I've been told by people that we should set up live streams at the games. So we might be doing something along those lines. Maybe Lee will do the play-by-play for a Team Greece game against Jamaica. Who knows? If Vladdy leaves, I'll cry. I'm so serious. I own 2 of his jerseys. Yeah. Me too. Not to do like Toronto Blue Jays talk, as Ottawa is on a power play right now, but yeah, just the Blue Jays organization is really frustrating me. Like the whole just lack of incompetence, or the lack of competence, really. Yeah, it's not good. It hasn't been good for a while. This is supposed to be a good generation for the Jays, and they've kind of blown it. So, all right, Ottawa snapping it around on the power play right now. Let me get the stats here. I have the stats ready to go for everybody. So Ottawa's 4-1 against New York this season. New York, conversely, is 1-3-1. So the PWHL is cool because they do, they've got different rules. Like if you score a goal shorthanded, if New York were to score here while they're on the penalty kill, their player comes out of the box. It is in fact a true penalty kill. You get 3 points in the standings for a regulation win. None for a regulation loss, 2 for a regulation win, or 2 for an overtime win, and 1 for an overtime loss. So that's something that I think the NHL needs to adapt. Would probably make the playoff race a little bit more interesting too. So I don't know how other people feel about that. If you all would enjoy the NHL going to a 3-2-1 point system as opposed to the current 2-1. It just feels weird that you get like half as many points for an overtime loss as you do a win in regulation. Like a win in regulation doesn't make any sense to me. So that's how the IIHF does it too. The 3-2-1 system. I think it's a lot better. Tim, can you leave a comment and pin it in the chat asking people to subscribe if they are new here, even though I don't know if we're going to get many new people in the crowd here. Also like the stream too. Yeah, really appreciate that. Try and get this out there. Like and subscribe. Yeah, New York's definitely got way more talented players on their roster than Ottawa does, but Ottawa's just won more games. I don't know. New York has Sarah Fillier, who is one of the top players in the league. She was the first overall pick in the draft last year from them. And there was actually a little bit of controversy with it because it took her a while to sign with New York, and she didn't want to do a full 3-year deal. So I think she only ended up signing a 1 or a 2-year deal, if I'm not mistaken, because she didn't want the full 3 years in New York. I think the assumption was maybe that salaries are going to go up, or, you know, maybe she wanted to go try somewhere else in free agency. So, yeah, that was an interesting deal, but she's been awesome. I think she's got 25 points, leads the team in her rookie year. Like, she's incredible. She's Team Canada superstar. Yeah, people call her the McDavid of women's hockey. So, but they've got Alex Carpenter, who's awesome. Abby Rock is awesome. The person that did the Michigan. Jesse Eldridge is really good. Ella Shelton's really good. So very surprising that they find themselves at the bottom of the standings. They had a little bit of life early on in the season, and then it's just totally gone off the rails for them. They're 2-6-1 or 2-6-1-1 in their last 10 games. So not great. Not great. Are they headed to commercial break now? Yeah. So Ottawa's playing in St. Louis. They've been doing this like takeover tour this season where they've played games in different cities, trying to, test the market, see where, the PWHL will stick. They've done games in Pittsburgh, Detroit, Seattle, Vancouver, Edmonton. Ottawa has played in and lost all of their games They played in the Quebec City game. They lost to Montreal. They played in the Edmonton game, lost to Toronto. And they played Minnesota in Raleigh, and they lost there as well. So they will play Boston in St. Louis, which it blows my mind that Chicago is not on this list of spots that they're even trying this out. You know, like to pick a market like St. Louis or Raleigh or something like that before. I get there's like a lot of interest in the Western markets. Seattle, I think, would be a great market for a PWHL franchise. Vancouver too. Yeah, Vancouver would be nice. Edmonton, they just like love hockey. Like I could see a PWHL team really working there just because, you know, there's not a lot else to do in Edmonton besides watch hockey, watch really good hockey, right? They love their hockey there. So, but like Detroit and Pittsburgh and Raleigh before, you know, seeing what Chicago is like here, like what is the turnout here? You could even put it in the United Center. I don't know if maybe they had some issues trying to book the United Center for something like this. But yeah, I just like do it once, like see what happens. What are my thoughts on the Hart winner so far? Like the Hart Trophy race? The Hart Trophy race is a little bit tricky for me this year. I always struggle giving it to the Edmonton guys, right? Just because they're the two best players on the planet. It's almost like they trade it off every night. And, you know, by the true definition of the award, they should get it every year. But yeah, just I don't know, man. I think it's Draisaitl. Nathan MacKinnon has been awesome. I just think he's also got a really good team around him right now. Like if Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl played on Edmonton or played on Colorado, sorry, geez. Yeah, I just think it would be a lot different of a situation. You could give it to Nathan MacKinnon. You could, yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of giving it to Dustin Wolf if the Flames get into the playoffs. Yeah. Like that's what it should be, right? Like somebody that's just done unbelievable at what they're supposed to do. You know, I was really high on Quinn Hughes winning the Hart. I think if Vancouver makes the playoffs at this point right now with how well St. Louis has been playing, how well Utah's been playing, you know, how plucky Calgary's been the whole season. You know, Calgary just like they came East Coast and they won 3 in a row on a really tough road trip. Like they won some really difficult hockey games. So I think if Vancouver makes the playoffs now, it will be more because the other teams around them fell apart. So I think that hurts Quinn's cases. But like early on in the season, I was very, very high on Quinn being the Hart Trophy winner this year. I wouldn't even be like, for me right now, you know, Quinn has dealt with injuries. I think he's been the best defenseman in the world. But if I had a vote, it would be going to Zach Werenski this year. So if Columbus finds a way in the playoffs, I would love to see, you know, Werenski's name in the Hart Trophy mix. But you know it's going to the big boys. Like, you know it's going to Draisaitl or Nathan MacKinnon right now. So, you know, people were talking about David Pastrnak, but then the Bruins totally fell off. I mean, the Bruins fall off needs to be studied here. It's been something, that's for sure. Tassos cooking when he isn't cut off mid-opinion. Yeah, that happens from time to time, doesn't it, around these parts? Appreciate you, Thomas. Tim, maybe you can throw this question in there. I will ask everybody too. If Chicago did get a PWHL team, what should the name be? What should the name be? You have the Red Stars is the women's soccer team here. You have the Sky, which is the WNBA team here. New York on the power play here. Terry Lova going 2 minutes for hooking. Ottawa needs the points. They need the points way more than New York. I think New York would rather I don't know, finish last again, get another high pick. Abby Murphy's probably going to be the first overall pick in the PWHL draft this year. Oh, looks like Ottawa's got a little bit of a shorthanded break here. Good stick, though. Chicago Steelers. The football team in Pittsburgh might have an issue with that. Good stick again. Shorthanded breakaway for Ottawa. And they score. Sick goal. That's a jailbreak goal, too. It's a jailbreak goal. So you score shorthanded, your player comes out of the box. It's an awesome rule. What a momentum shifter there. How do you guys feel about that rule in the NHL? How does everybody feel about that rule? You score on the penalty kill, your player comes out of the box. Is that not the true definition of a penalty kill? Is that not a true penalty kill? It was a sweet goal. I don't know who scored it yet. We're going to get a look at her name here. 37. On Ottawa is Rebecca Leslie. First goal of the season, too. That's a good way to score your first goal of the season, that's for sure. So it is 1-0 charge in a must-win game for both sides, really. I mean, New York would probably need to win out if they were going to make the playoffs here, but if everybody likes this, if this does pretty well, we'll do more of this in the future. We just thought we'd test run it since we are not able to live stream any of the Blackhawks games this week. And, we've gotten some people asking for this. So we give the people what they want. Maybe do something with the Blackhawk tribe so the teams are connected. Find the name of a matriarchal role or something that could be cool. Yeah. Bring it to the NHL. I have some skin in the game. I have a Gabby Hughes card in Shell. Gabby Hughes. 12 points in 24 games this season. Half point a game player. It's pretty good. So I think they're playing 30 games this season. Each team is playing. So it's a little bit more than last year. I think they would like to get to what sounds good. Maybe like a 41 game schedule, half of an NHL schedule. I think that would be good. There's also no trapezoid rule in this league too. So goaltenders are free to play the puck. If you're wondering why the goalies are playing the puck outside the trapezoid, that is why. Ottawa seems to have found some life after that goal. They're buzzing now. Friend of mine played on what was then PWHL Ottawa, now the Charge, last season before being cut and then latching on with the Montreal Victoire now. Will there be any CHR playoff streams since obviously the Hawks aren't making it? LOL. Likely watching the Sens Panthers or Tassos' Leaf streams. Yeah, no, the plan is for the playoffs is to be live streaming even more than we generally do. Yeah, we're going to live stream a ton during the playoffs, especially because there's not going to be any post-game shows. So it'll only be Monday, Wednesday, Friday podcasts from us. We are going to stream during the playoffs. We are going to stream a lot during the playoffs. Sometimes it'll be just me. Sometimes it'll be just Lee. Maybe sometimes it'll be just Justin, although he doesn't finish school until a little bit later on in the playoffs. I think like by the end of round 2, Justin should be here. Maybe by the start of round 3, Justin should be back in town. But yeah, we will be live streaming. You know, the hope is to probably do every single game of the Stanley Cup final. Yeah, I think it would be great. Yeah, so that is the plan. We'll be Chicago Monarchs is a good name. That's a good name. First time watching this league. Do they fight? Technically, no. There was sort of a fight, but it was like an Austin Matthews fight. They kept the helmets on, they kept the gloves on, and I forgot who it was, but they were swinging at each other. Yeah, there was a fight earlier this season, and then the PWHL afterward reiterated that, you know, hey, there's really no fighting in this league. I do think we're gonna get a fight in this league one day. I do think it would have to be like Ryan is saying here, like drop the buckets. Like otherwise you're just smashing your hand against a metal cage. Like that's not really. Who does that benefit? Got to take the buckets off. I think there is a push eventually here in the PWHL 2 to make the switch over to visors instead of the full cage that they go with now. I've heard mixed reactions from some of the players about the topic. You know, I think it brings more identity to the players almost, you know, like their faces are almost hidden behind the cages. You can't really tell who is who, or at least you can tell more who is who when they have, you know, a visor on. So I think that would be a good move for them to do eventually here. Oh, what's up, guys? The draft lottery will be May 5th through 6th via Chris Johnston. That's exciting. So we're a little over a month away from knowing where the Hawks will pick in the first round of the 2025 NHL entry draft. Ottawa's in. Weak shot deflected away. New York breaking it out. Man, they break the puck out better than the Hawks do. Oh, it was a snipe. Hit the net. By the way, Justin will be joining us for the second period of this live stream, by the way. So that should be fun. Shout out Jack Skilly for me tagging him in a clip and then him asking me to collab with him on the clip. It was such a fun interview yesterday. He actually said that, side angle shot, kind of awkward, almost trickled in though. Jack Skilly said he wants to come on the show again, so we will have him on the show again. That'll be a little bit more laid back. We'll do more storytelling, kind of like the story from the clip we posted. Yeah, but that'll be a ton of fun. We are going to get Jack Skilly back on. You know, I definitely almost looking for the extra pass. Probably should have shot it there. Yeah, Ottawa's found some life after their goal. New York was kind of dominating the game up until that point. That's the thing about the jailbreak situation is it's a real momentum shifter. Like you not only give up a shorthanded goal, but now your power play's over. Like that crushes any sort of momentum that the power play was going to give you. Jesse Eldridge on the forecheck. I think that's Rock with the puck. I want to say Abby Rock's dad's name is Jim. I used to met him a few times when I was working for the Wolves. He was a scout for the Maple Leafs, so he would, you know, come to a lot of Wolves games and be scouting for them, and really nice guy. I think his name is Jim. I can't remember. PWHL should eventually add Chicago, Edmonton, Vancouver, Calgary, LA, and Detroit. Yeah, those are good markets. I would probably and Ottawa scored. 2-0. 5:54 left in the opening frame. Who got that one? Feel the charge, says that sign. That building's packed, honestly. Emily Clark, Team Canada national team player. Go to the net. Go to the net. Stick down on the ice. That's what happens. And Ottawa went from being on their heels early in this game to now taking full charge of this hockey game. Pun intended. Can you give me the rim shot, Sully? There you go. Thanks. Who wins? Charge versus Hawks. 4-2 charge, empty netter. Now. Yeah, New York hasn't even touched the puck much the last 5 minutes or so. They got it back now, though. Oh, 4.5 remaining in the first period. Ottawa breaking the puck out of their zone. Carrying it through. 3-on-2. Oh. Bad chip pass, and now New York goes the other way. Good move. Oof. New York can't let another one in here. If you have any designs on winning this game. Again, super surprising to me that New York isn't a better hockey team. I'd love to see the injury report for this game. There's actually been some high-profile injuries around the PWHL here as the season's, drawing an end near the playoffs. That's a penalty. Yep. Ottawa going back to the power play. He kind of had to take that one, though. She was going to get a good look. Tassos, did you see the Kyle Palmieri goalie interference call last night? And what are your thoughts on it if you did? I did see it. I have to say, I think it was absurd. There's enough time for the goaltender to recover from the little contact that was made there. The other thing about that call is that normally when there's goalie interference in the NHL and the PWHL, CHL, NCAA, whenever there's goaltender interference, you'll see the goalie immediately complain about it. You'll see them immediately be up in arms, say, hey, that was wrong. That should not be the call. And if you look at it, as soon as the puck goes in the net, Merzlikins doesn't move. He doesn't say a word. He's just like, he thinks the game is over. He wasn't thinking goalie interference, right? So they were both on the far edge of their area, and Merzlikins initiated contact with Palmieri. Should have been a goal. Yeah, it should have been a goal. It should have been a goal. And honestly, that's like a really, really crucial moment in a very important game, you know, that swing goes the other way. Islanders are only 1 point out of a playoffs. They'd be sitting in a playoff spot right now. Or no, they'd be tied with the Canadiens in points, but Montreal still has a game in hand. And Columbus, you know, they get the all-important second point. So, you know, all those teams are so close to each other. I really do believe that Detroit's out of it, but, you know, technically they're not. But, you know, the Islanders, the Rangers, the Blue Jackets, the Canadiens, like, those are all really, really valuable points here, especially as these games played start to even out here over the next week, 2 weeks. Like, this is going to get really spicy. Oh, good save. Brianne Jenner, the captain for Ottawa, really good player too. Team Canada national team player. The Women's World Championships are coming up. I don't know where they are or when they are, but I will get that information now and we can talk about it a little bit. Teams are starting to unveil their rosters for it. It is in Czechia this year. Starts April 9th, goes until April 20th. That is, you know, for good save on Emily Clark. On the power play, Ottawa's on the peeper right now. You see, there is an issue with the men's World Championship. They just don't care, right? It's after the NHL season. And if for those that don't remember the Dylan Larkin quote after the Four Nations that, hey, you want to be on the men's national team in best on best competition, you need to go to the World Championships and prove yourself. And that remains true. I mean, the United States hasn't won a men's World Championship since 1960, I want to think. And that's ridiculous to me. You're sending college age players, you're sending all these different types of guys. For the women, the World Championships is like the pinnacle of your year. It's almost more important. It's probably more important to you than the PWHL is right now, because history is something that backs, you know, emotion and importance, right? Like how, like the Stanley Cup is the most hallowed trophy in sports. So, you know, guys would rather be competing for the Stanley Cup than the men's World Championships, right? But on the flip side of that, like the women's worlds it's unbelievable hockey. It is really, really good. Obviously, it ends up being Canada versus the United States in the gold medal game most of the time. I say most of the time because a couple of times it has not been. I think Finland beat Canada one year in the semis, and it was a crazy upset, and then lost to the U.S. in the final, I want to say. But yeah, they just care way more. It's the big event of their, like, that's their Stanley Cup right now. Obviously, the Olympics are, and even the next level to that. But oh, nice passing play, good break up there, and we got another whistle here for what I don't know, but looks like New York's about to kill this power play. Would love to get one subscriber during this just to hear the horn for Rye Guy. I would love to deliver that for you here, Ryan. What do you think happens to Toronto in the first round? Do you think an upset happens since they have fallen off a cliff? Yeah, I don't know. The Maple Leafs, it's all about the top guys. It's all it's about. It's all it's ever been about. Can Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, William Nylander, John Tavares, got to throw Morgan Riley in there because he's had a terrible season. But can all those guys play their best at the right time? Because you don't have the depth. You don't have the depth. Look at Colorado. They trade Nathan McKinnon. They're arguably a better hockey team now. You fill in with Charlie Coyle, Brock Nelson, Marty Necas, plus all the other people, Jack Drury. Got to have depth in the NHL to win. So for the Maple Leafs to do that, yes, the depth needs to show up a little bit. They can never score in the playoffs. It's not about the defending for them. It's all about the scoring. The scoring just dries up for them. So I like their chances. I mean, there's certain underlying numbers that make me worried as a big stats guy. They get outshot every game. Every game. But a lot of the chances they give up, they're not grade A's, but they do spend a lot of time in their own zone. Some of their D can't break the puck out. 40 seconds left here in the first period. New York maybe trying to get a late spark. These girls hit. They are not afraid to throw the body around. Toronto's core is overrated, in my opinion, and their depth needs to show up in the playoffs. Yeah, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. I just to me, it's you can't really blame it on the depth because you paid all those top guys a bunch of money. So, and that is the end of the first period. But I will finish this thought on Toronto before we hit a break. No, I really believe that, you paid all these guys the top money. So what are you going to, you couldn't afford anybody else. Are you going to blame this on, you're going to blame it on Max Domi and Nick Robertson that you didn't win a playoff series? Or David Kampf or Scott Laughton? No. If you don't win in the playoffs, it's because Mitch Marner didn't do what Austin Matthews wasn't a dominant first line center. William Nylander wasn't consistent enough. John Tavares has always been pretty consistent for the amount of slander that guy takes. He's been 7 straight 30-goal seasons for JT. So, 6:35. Hit the horn, Sully. Love that. Thank you, Trevor. All right, with that, we're going to hit a quick break here. First period, 2-0 Ottawa. We'll be back on the other side. Enjoy this clip. I think it's from the Jack Skilly interview. So, in relation to that a little bit, Connor Bedard is obviously supposed to be the guy here, and he's, everybody sort of seems to forget that he's still a 19-year-old kid. But you see it sometimes with him, the frustration, the stick snapping, the, banging the stick on the boards, the throwing of the helmets. What is the line there for a player of it's good that they're showing that emotion because it means they care, but at the same time, you don't want to get them too bogged down on the minutia maybe of, hey, maybe things aren't going well right now, but they will later on.
Yeah, I mean, in that situation, he's got more of that Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews path, quickly immersed into the NHL and the pressures of it and all the expectations of the fans. And he's a special player. He's a special talent. He's able to play 200 feet and he's a high compete level. And that's what you're talking about here. He wants to win games.
Yep.
I'm not a coach for the Blackhawks. There's a reason why, right? They have very experienced people working for them right now. But I would say if I ever ran into Connor and he asked me, which he wouldn't, but if he asked me, I would just say, hey, buddy, let's focus on your teammates.
Yeah.
When we're feeling those pressures, and he's feeling a lot of pressures, you can see it. Like it's almost as if he's carrying the entire city of Chicago on his back at times.
Hmm.
And I think for Connor, the best thing for him to do, and anybody in that situation, is when I say focus on your teammates, serve your teammates. How do you make your teammates better in practice? Pull them aside, work on some skills. You're not teaching them, you're not coaching them, you're just doing it with them, and you're moving with the group, and you're focusing on helping your teammates get better every single day. And through that service, we generally feel the pressure release because it's no longer about us anymore. And then you play for the win, not necessarily to be the guy that's getting the points.
Yep.
I think he's probably it's probably tough for him to manage those two angles. He's playing for the win and he knows he's the guy. So, if I'm not producing, how are we going to win games? Totally understand that.
Mhm.
But if you just focus on, I mean, get a good shot block at some point. Shut a guy down on a good healthy back check or a track, and create a great turnover, and just play the game the right way. Get the lines, get it in, and not force a play, and in the danger areas, and let your game, develop within that, and let the game find you. I think special talents like that discover that early on, that if I'm just patient, and I allow the play to develop, it's going to find me. I don't need to force anything.
It's awesome. Transitioning away from the Blackhawks here, how long have you been living in Utah?
6 years now.
6 years. Okay. So living and coaching there, how has the club coming to Utah affected the hockey scene, the youth hockey scene in Utah? Are fans just like super pumped there?
Yeah, I think fans are really pumped. I think it's a double-edged sword. I think a lot of the youth hockey community was is excited. They're attending games, and but with that excitement comes expectations, right? It's kind of the same conversation we're having with Chicago. Um, and things don't move. I always tell parents as a coach, like, development's a crock pot, not a microwave. And
Mm,
I think UHC is doing their best to immerse themselves into the youth hockey landscape and grow the game, but I think it's moving a little bit slower than they initially anticipated. There's several reasons why, in my opinion, from just observing it unemotionally, why that's happening. It's unfortunate. For me, like as a hockey person, I come from a background of collaboration and working together, and giving anybody, including mostly the NHL, the resources, or the whatever they need. They approach me, they need something. Hey, it's done. You guys are the NHL. Like, we can't really grow this game and help you guys be successful if I'm gonna try to, push back on any of your plans. And I think there's some of that unfortunately going on. We have a bunch of city-owned rinks, so there's some
Mhm.
bureaucratical stuff going on, and
oh,
it's tends to get in the way of what you would deem as, like, man, this is a chip shot. Now the NHL's here. This should spur growth and development, but it's being slowed down for reasons that aren't necessarily related to the game itself.
What do you
Ryan
think of
and
what?
oh
Oh,
no, no,
sorry.
you first, Justin. You
Yeah, I was
first.
going to ask, like, how do you think about what Ryan Smith is doing over there, the owner? Because I just noticed you brought up the TV blackout earlier with good old Works, and all Hawks are struggling right now at CHSM, and some Hawks fans struggling to watch the games. But I realized what he did over there is I think he offered a $1 subscription to all Utah fans to be able to watch the rest of the
sick.
games this season. What do you think he's doing? Do you think he's doing a good job? Yeah.
Yeah, I think piggybacking off what I just said, I think he's realizing that there's a little bit more resistance than he expected, and I think he's doing an amazing job just trying to make the game more accessible and remove the barrier of entry for people. And I think that's the key, right? How do we remove the barrier of entry? How do we grow? And that's finances.
Yep.
For the most part, this is a very expensive sport to attend and watch, but it's also 10x when you're playing it as a kid. So it's a financial burden on a lot of people in their households. So I think Ryan Smith, has some empathy for that and respects it, and I think he's doing the best he can to remove that barrier of entry. And what I really am excited about with Ryan's plans is he's trying to remove that city-owned rink issue by, creating a bunch of private rinks
Yeah.
in our area, it's just going to spur a lot of growth when that comes. Again, I wish I could wake up tomorrow and 6 or 7 brand new private rinks exist, but we all know that takes time, and
Yeah.
it's a crock pot, right? So
Absolutely. With the Jack Skilly Hockey Academy, you have been coaching such a wide range of like players from different age groups, whether it's young boys and girls or pro level guys. What have you gotten the most out of coaching, like being around these young players and trying to translate the information onto young people?
Oh man, I've been challenged to grow as a person, and I have I hope I have. My wife tells me I have, so I'll take that.
That's all
There we
that
go. That's all you
matters.
need.
Yeah.
That matters, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm a totally different person than I was 6 years ago. The responsibility of trying to lead these young minds. A lot of the guys like me who had a career tend to avoid youth hockey because things can get pretty crazy. And you know, I've had a really fortunate to have a couple great mentors in my life. One of them being Troy Ward on the hockey front, and then Steve Merland, who was he's a good friend of mine, but he trained me in the off seasons, and they've really just helped me manage expectations of parents, and really focus more on relationships, and then including parents in on my plans, and really giving parents a space without giving up too much of my energy or my day, to really share what they see, and be open-minded, and try to accommodate things if they make sense for everybody. So um, my whole demeanor has changed with parents, especially, but with the kids, my coaching style's changed. It's not necessarily the message as a coach, it's the delivery of that message. And I mean, when you're coaching 10Us, 12s, 14s, 16s, or high school kids, and now you got some junior level kids, and then you got some college kids and some pro kids, your demeanor kind of changes along with that audience. I got a little chance to coach some 6U and 8U hockey this year because my son's in his first year of sixes, and yeah, it's a challenge. You're kind of, it's like you're an actor, you're going into character every single hour of ice depending on the group. So, yeah, the return on investment for working with kids has been more personal in my daily life, and I'm super grateful for it.
You mentioned your young son. Is he like super into the game? Is he a fan? Does he watch a lot? Does he comprehend that dad used to do this? And
Yeah, you'll get a kick out of this. So we were watching, gosh, he was a year and a half ago. We were watching Connor playing, actually in our bedroom on the TV, and he was laying in the bed next to me, and he goes, "Dad, did you play there?" And I said, "Yeah, I played there." He goes, "Did you play with those guys?" And I said, "A couple of them." "Which guy? Nick Foligno?" "Oh yeah, Nick Foligno." "Okay." And he goes, "Did you play with Connor Bedard?" I go, "No, I think he was probably in middle school when I played, maybe fifth year."
He
Right.
was your
That,
age.
yeah, daddy's old. And he goes, "Well, I'm going to play in the NHL someday." I said, "Oh, you are, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to boom Connor Bedard against the glass." Right. And I loved it, So
Yeah.
he
This could
loves
be an
the game.
enforcer. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, those guys are great guys,
Yeah.
but maybe living out in Park City, he'll turn into a mountain biker or something. But no, he loves the game. He's always playing for hockey. He loves going to the rink. He actually had a meltdown because both of the stick and pucks were full in Park City yesterday, and he was really banking on going. So,
Oh,
no, it's great to watch him play, and I'm learning a lot about, my parents are here actually visiting me this week, and to be able to share this with my dad, to really understand, what was it like at 5? What were you worried about as a dad? Taking your kid to the rink. You certainly don't want to press these kids. You want to make sure that they cultivate and grow the love of the game on their own. And as a parent, you're just kind of like putting them in that environment when they ask. And you know what? He's asking quite a bit. We played a lot of pond hockey. He really wants to go to the rink. So I'll facilitate that, but no pressure. He's too young. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
trying to figure out if this is even going to take.
What do you make of the Utah Hockey Club on the ice? You know, they're 6 points out of a playoff spot, but they got a couple games in hand on St. Louis. They're kind of making things interesting here down the stretch. They've played some better hockey, it seems like, the last couple of weeks. You know, they've got some good young players. You know, what do you see when you watch them play?
Well, they've evolved quite a bit. And again, like I've said, I've been in the scouting room, I think close to 17 or 18 games this year. Fortunate to be around a lot of great hockey minds all year in those scouting rooms and build those relationships. But watching the team, they started out not necessarily understanding the right way to play the game, the 200-foot game. And, when they would play against teams like Florida or Vegas or St. Louis or, Ottawa had a game where I think they exposed them pretty good early in the year, with just their 200-foot game, right? Like Vegas comes in and they just steamroll you just from consistent layers of defending and patient, and they'll just capitalize on a turnover. And I think over the course of the season, Utah has managed the puck much better. I think they've bought into that 200-foot style of game, and they're playing playoff hockey, which is dangerous, right? Like for other teams that are in the lead right now, when you're in the lead of the league for too long, you can get a little complacent when everybody else, like Utah, remember 2012 when LA squeaks in
Yep.
as a wild card and they ended up winning the whole thing. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens as the season comes to a close for this group. I hope they make the playoffs. I know a few of them. I worked with a few of them this offseason. They're great people and they're hard workers, and they're just playing the right way. They just know what they are now. And I think it's dangerous to play against.
Heading into the playoffs here, do you have maybe one, or I know you mentioned at the beginning there's some wagons right now, but do you have a cup favorite or two?
Yeah, I mean, I love Pete DeBoer and what he's doing in Dallas, and I think they've been in the hunt for a couple of years. Look out for them, and they, obviously with Rantanen and some other moves they made. Wow, like that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Florida has just been, I mean, downright amazing this year. They have a certain culture that it just radiates off of them when they play, right? So. They made some good additions too. So I'm not going to sit there and I wouldn't gamble my money on it because I know like once you.
And we are back. We're going to welcome on Justin Lynch into the stream here in a moment. You want to pull him up, Saul?
He's already up.
Oh, he's up. He's up. Welcome to the stream, Justin.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, good to be here. Yeah,
Very
doing?
nice. How we doing?
We're very good. This nice Tuesday night here, watching this PWHL game, making history here. I'll admit this is the first period of women's hockey I've watched all year, but I'm looking forward to getting into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch the first period?
I was in the shower, but I just got out of the shower, so yeah, I caught some of the highlights in the intermission there.
Yeah. Ottawa's up 2-0.
Yeah, the Ottawa Charge logo, by the way, is it just me or is that
good
does that
logo
look like
or bad logo?
It looks like the Flames logo on Temu. Like that's what it looks like to me. Yeah, I think it could use some work there. Yeah,
it does. Yeah, no, it's not good. It's probably bottom, like 6 out of 6 as far as PWHL logo. Here,
yeah.
You want to rank? Let's rank all 6 of them.
Okay, yeah, I gotta pull them up here. Let's see. I was gonna say Sirens runs all right.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think the branding of the PWHL could use a little bit of work. Like the names and the logos and stuff could be better. Yeah, let's see. All right. Okay, best logo.
I think it might be the Sirens.
I kind of like the Toronto one.
Yeah.
It's kind of got like a classic feel to it. Even the Montreal one.
The Montreal one's all right.
It's got like the Fleur de Lis in there. Yeah, I see that.
You want to talk about knockoff logos? The Boston one to me looks like if you took the Hartford Whalers logo and turned it on its side. a little
Oh,
bit,
oh, it does. Now I see it. Now that I flipped it, I could see what you're talking about there. It kind of looks like an
right?
anchor now. Yeah.
I think
So,
that's the point because they're called the Fleet, right?
so that's what they're going for?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Minnesota one, that just looks like something on Shell. Like that just looks like a custom logo.
yeah.
Ottawa one, the same deal. Yeah. Basically just copying the Flames. And so I guess I'd go 1 Toronto, 2 Montreal, 3 Boston, 3 Sirens, 4 Boston, 5 Minnesota, 6 Ottawa. Yeah, that's why I'd do it.
Yeah, the Ottawa one is goofy, man. It is
Yeah,
goofy.
I don't know what they're going. It just looks like the Flames logo, like on Wish. Yeah,
The
that's funny.
Sirens one to me, like that's the coolest jersey. Like maybe not just the
Yeah.
logo, but like the jersey, the color scheme. Like you don't really get that a lot. Like the turquoise and orange, like that's
Mhm.
like different for hockey. You know, it's a lot of like red and navy and black and you know,
Okay.
you don't. I feel
Yeah.
like even in the NHL, you don't get like a ton of like different color combos and things like that, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, it's unique. Yeah, I would say that kind of color. Ottawa, I mean, you see that type of color all the time, just like classic red or whatever. But you don't see like turquoise and like things like that thrown in there, so it's different.
It
Yeah,
is different.
yeah, it's
All
cool.
right, I'll ask you some of the questions that I was asking Chad earlier.
Oh, sure.
If Chicago got a PWHL franchise, what should the name be?
I was just thinking about that actually. Well, I'm thinking, look, you got Bears, right? That's already covered. You got Cubs in there. Some sort of like another animal in there, right? Like maybe, I don't know, like a cougar or a jaguar or something. That'd be
Yeah,
kind of cool. Yeah.
there is
Chicago Cougars.
there's
Wasn't there
there's a junior team here called the Cougars.
I know there was like wasn't there like a UHL team or something like back in the day they played in that like arena in Hoffman Estates or something.
There
Or
might
maybe
have
that's a
been.
different team. Yeah, I might be thinking of another team. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Chicago just needs a team, man. Like that's my main takeaway. Like I understand like how they don't already. I mean, the original 6 they got going here, but when the expansion comes, I don't know why Chicago isn't really. I don't see them in talks as much as like places like Detroit and Calgary and places like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I asked ChatGPT to give me different names for a Chicago PWHL team.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this one's gonna be kind of interesting. Okay.
What's
Some of these are funny. So Chicago Ice Queens is a little that was the number one
Okay.
option. That's a little goofy.
Yeah, no way.
The second period is underway here, by the way, I should mention.
Okay.
Chicago Firestorm. That's all right.
I
Chicago.
could go off the fire, right? Chicago fire history, so that works.
Yeah, some of these are different. Chicago Blizzards, that's too close to the Minnesota Frost one.
Yeah.
Chicago Skyriders, like you already have the sky.
Yeah,
you know?
no, that's just you got to be different. Well, plus you already have the Chicago Fire though in soccer, so I feel like that's kind of going off of that as well. So yeah, it's kind of hard to pick something that hasn't already been taken. Yeah,
Chicago Pioneers is pretty cool.
that's interesting. Yeah, something to do with Chicago. Chicago Wind. I guess that's
Dude,
kind of similar to
honestly, that's not
Windy
bad.
City, Chicago Wind. I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
mind it.
yeah. Chicago Hawks, not Blackhawks, just Hawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the junior Hawks.
I think
or no?
Thomas in the chat was saying that like they should find like a women's connection to the Blackhawks and sort of like go off of it, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, that'd be kind of nice.
I
Yeah.
think that's kind of cool. It would all depend on if like who owns the team. Like if the Wirtz family decided they wanted to buy the PWHL
They
team
probably
too.
just play in the United Center then, right? Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well, no, it'd be kind of
It's-
hard.
It's
like,
hard.
Yeah,
It's hard to play in the United Center.
yeah, they probably just have to do the lower bowl. Yeah, it's kind of, I was kind of thinking that too. Where would they play? Yeah, there's a few options. Like probably not All-State. That's not really. That's kind of out. Not really Chicago. That's in Rosemont. So, and that's a pretty big arena too. But that's where the Wolves play.
Chicago Wolves is on this list.
Oh yeah, well that's
Chicago
already
Steel
taken there. Yeah,
is on this list too. Steel is on this list. It's like, nah,
yeah,
you can't do that.
yeah. No, yeah. I don't know where they. Maybe like Fifth Third's expanding. I'm pretty sure, right? They're going to be getting more rinks and stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe when that's done, they could play there. Like maybe there'll be like a bigger rink for like that type of level. Who knows? Yeah. Fifth Third's the practice facility of the Hawks, for those who don't know. But yeah.
ChatGPT did not cook with this list.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of like Chell names there. Yeah.
Chicago Guardians, that's pretty cool.
Guardians. Yeah, going off of the Cleveland Guardians there.
This one is the Chicago Sabres. You can't do that.
Yeah, no, you can't do another NHL team name. Hmm. So who are some of the best players in this game? Who's like the star players for the Sirens and the
So that's the thing.
yeah.
I was kind of saying that during the first period, but like New York is last in the league, but they have like way more star power on their
Yeah.
team than Ottawa does even. And Ottawa's like if they win this game, they'll be in a playoff spot, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's close, but like New York is really far out of it. But like Sarah Fillier is a superstar, dude.
Oh,
Like she's
I recognize that name. Yeah.
yeah. Like she's a Team Canada national team player. She's a superstar. Who else do they have? Jamie Bourbonnais is really good. Abby Rock is the girl who scored the Michigan.
Scored the Michigan. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bested Bedard impression there. That was really nice. It was pretty clean Michigan too. I think she's on the U.S. World Championships teams. I know. I'm pretty sure. When is that? Is that coming up? The women's
It
World
is coming up.
Championships?
I was just telling the people here that it's April 9th to the 20th. And I was having a discussion with myself, obviously, but like for the men, like remember the whole Dylan Larkin thing when he's like, guys need to go to the Worlds, right?
Yeah. Well,
And
women's, they really take it really seriously.
that's their
right?
Stanley
Yeah.
Cup. Like
Yeah.
that means more to them probably than winning
Than
the
this.
PWHL.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Well, every time the U.S. and Canada play, like that's when I really zero in. Like I'll admit, like that's like me going to church during the holidays. Like that's like the year of women's hockey. Like when USA Canada play each other in the World Championships, like that's when I show up. But I want to try to get more into it. I want to try to watch more women's hockey because it seems like it's on the rise here. PWHL, first season of that should be expanding too, getting more teams and just what I've seen so far, like the hockey seems pretty damn good too. So yeah,
Hockey's hockey. Yeah. It's just not like there's not like a big difference. Like I obviously, yes, the NHL's faster and it's it's more intense, and I do understand that, but like the hockey IQ is still really, really high. And all these players played on like they were the top players on some of the top teams in the NCAA, right? For Division One. And
women's college hockey it's pretty damn good. Yeah.
Dude, that championship game on Sunday was so good. Like that was
even I watched a little bit of that. That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool.
Just super dramatic.
The penalty shot was elite.
Yeah.
Calling the shots. I like that. Yeah.
How do you think
Tough way to go on to lose a game though. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you think that Ohio State player feels to put her hand over the puck in the crease?
No, gotta feel terrible for that, man. I feel bad, definitely. I'm sure some secondhand embarrassment there. I'm sure her teammates feel bad too. It's just one of those things. It's like, a fluky thing. Like you don't mean to do something like that. You just do it like out of instinct, and fortunately it cost you the game. But it is what it is. I'm sure learn from that. Yeah.
Yeah, unless that's the end of your career.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah,
that's the thing. Is like for the men, even if there are men that play Division I hockey that like don't really have any designs of playing pro hockey at any sort of level after the fact, but like anybody that plays Division I hockey for the men, like you can go play pro hockey somewhere if you want. Like maybe it's not the NHL.
Options. You have so many other options, right?
Yeah.
With women's hockey, like if it's not the PWHL, like where do you go? Because like that other league's no longer a thing, is it? The NWHL, like that's gone, right? Yeah.
No. Yeah.
So it's like where else do you play? Yeah, I don't really
There's
know.
a league in Sweden that's good. That's like the probably second best women's league. It's called the SDHL.
Okay.
So, that's a good league. There was a league in Russia that I think still operates. That's where like a lot of these players were playing beforehand.
Okay.
But I don't know that, like, I think the level for that has like dropped off significantly since the PWHL started. But yeah, like it's really like Sweden, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, and there's only 6 teams in this league too, so it's like that's why I think expanding is a good thing, right? Get more options for. I'm sure there's a lot more talent that's on the sidelines here. I'd like to give them a shot there. So the more teams, the merrier, right? Grow the game for sure. Yeah. Another question I had, like, does women's hockey like they don't really have their version of they don't really have the Caitlin Clark yet, do they? Like that, like somebody to kind of like steer the ship here, like grow this thing. Like I'd say probably who do you think the best player of women's hockey is? I guess would be my question now. Like who's like the most well known?
So, I mean, there's a few. And then I will give my next up too.
Okay.
Because they were just talking about her, so I will give Chloe Primerano a minute here. But obviously, the players all say like the GOAT right, is Marie-Philippe Poulin. She's the
Oh yeah, she's the Canadian. Yeah, she's really good.
yeah, and she's like
Yeah.
she's Captain Clutch. Like I think she
Yeah.
has what is it
Is
like?
she like the most successful like on the international stage, like Canadians, like women's hockey history or something, or even
Yeah.
just women's hockey history in general?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, she is.
for sure.
She scored like I think it's like 3 or 4 gold medal winning goals. Like the game winning goal in the gold medal game of the Olympics. Like that to me is mind boggling. So
She's like the Crosby of women's Canadian hockey. Yeah.
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 So she's awesome. Sarah Fillier is like really good. I mean, her team is terrible, but like if she even had, you know, a little bit of more help on this team, she'd be a lot better. Hillary Knight.
So she's the Bedard of this of women's hockey,
Yeah.
basically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Hillary Knight on Boston's really
Oh yeah,
good.
I know her. Yeah, American. Yeah, I know for sure. She's been around for a while too, but top of her game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. Daryl Watts is a really good player for Toronto.
Taylor Heiss. What team's she on again?
She's on Minnesota. She's really, really good too.
Yeah. She was the #1 overall pick in the first PWHL draft, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The year Bedard was drafted, 23. I remember that. Yeah.
You have Kendall Coyne Schofield, who has ties to Chicago,
Oh,
obviously.
that's right. Yeah, speed skater. Like, wasn't there the NHL skills competition that one year where she like was faster than all the NHL guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she's speedy. Yeah, she's fast. Does she still work at the? I know she used to work at the Hawks as like I want to say she was like a skills coach or something like that. I don't know if she still does.
I don't know if
probably.
she does that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, but I know she used to. I recall that name. Yeah.
Renata Fast is probably the best defenseman in the league right now.
I know Sarah Nurse, right? She's
Sarah Nurse is really
she's
good.
related to Darnell Nurse, right?
Yeah, they're cousins.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Who else is really good? Alina Mueller's probably one of the best international players, like non-USA Canada players in the league. She's Swiss. She's awesome. I'm trying to think.
Is Amanda Kessel still playing? Yeah.
No, she's not playing
No,
anymore.
she's not. Oh,
so
wow.
that's an interesting story, actually. So, I guess Montreal drafted her in the late rounds of the PWHL draft last year, thinking that there was a chance that she would play. And apparently there's the rumor that she would only play for Boston if she was going to play. Like that was the only team she wanted to play for. And then Montreal went up and picked her anyways in like the last round of the draft, which is so funny because
that sounds like an Eric Lindros situation over there.
Well, it's even crazier because you have these, like, it's a new league, right? So especially the first draft, but even the second one last year, like you're having like 30-year-olds drafed. You know what I mean? Like
That's right. That's the first one.
Amanda Kessel's like 32, 33 years old, and she could still be playing right now. She's one of the assistant general managers in Pittsburgh, actually, for the Penguins. So,
oh, no way.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a better gig, maybe than
that works.
you make more money, you know. So
I was gonna say, like, they probably don't make a ton with this, do they?
no.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
You can look up what the average PWHL salary is.
Yeah, I'll bet. Like, it's something I'm kind of new to this too, so it's like, yeah, I'm asking a lot of questions, probably like Chad is. Yeah, it's yeah.
Average salary is $55,000, which is not bad actually.
I mean, that's not terrible. You can make a solid living with that. Yeah.
The low range league minimum is $35,000, and apparently the top end is about $80,000, but that doesn't include bonuses either.
Yeah, I mean, considering it's this is the first season of PWHL, right?
Second season.
Second season. Oh, my bad. Okay. So it's like, yeah, it'll take time. It'll grow. You know, if ratings and interest and all that, it'll get better. Yeah. You would hope. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do think so. I actually saw an interesting interview yesterday. So Brian Burke, you know Brian Burke, former NHL GM and president and all that. So he's working for the PWHL right now. He's been working for the PWHL for the last 2 seasons, and as like a advisor consultant kind of deal. And so he went on Real Kipper and Bourne yesterday, and they brought up the discussion that we actually brought up with Luke Fox about NHL expansion, right? And, Brian Burke was basically saying that, like, Utah's great right now. You know what I mean? Like, of course it's great right now. Like, they just started. Like,
but is it going to last, right?
What does it look like in year 6?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, what does it look like in year 6 when the team isn't very good? And, like, what happens? Like, have you built up enough of a a fan base to make it happen, right?
Mhm.
And that, you know, the NHL is going to go, like he said, like the NHL can't go back to Atlanta. Like they,
Yeah, I mean, you've already tried it twice, so yeah.
you know, and so he was like, yeah, it's great that the PWHL is getting numbers right now as far as like they're breaking attendance records. It feels
I've
like
heard
every
about
month,
that,
you
yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
every month it feels like there's a new thing that's like new attendance record broken, new attendance record broken.
Even checking this YouTube like live stream, like over 2,000 people are watching this. Like
Yeah.
it shows the interest is there, right? I mean, I'm not sure what how the viewership is on like in other areas, but you know, that's a good
And
sign,
that's just
right?
on
Yeah.
YouTube, right? Like New
Right,
York,
exactly.
New
Yeah.
York's games are on MSG Plus, so
Oh,
like
wow.
where the Rangers games are on and the Islanders
Yeah.
and Devils. And Ottawa, like they have their own thing with oh, we got a power play coming up, or what was that? Maybe an offside. So yeah, but like, so that's yeah, I mean, it is cool. Like there's a lot of people watching, you know, we're talking about these like takeover games where they've gone to like Vancouver and Seattle and Edmonton and Detroit and Raleigh and whatever. They're going to St. Louis on Saturday. Those games are great, right? But this is year 2. Like you can't even get a PWHL ticket for Toronto if you want one. Like it's all the games are sold out, right? But like, what does it look like in year 6? And
Yeah.
Brian Burke went on Real Kipper and Born and said, he's like, I've told them not to expand. Like I've told them not to expand. Like it's not ready for it yet. But he goes, they're not going to listen to me. Like he's like, they're not going to listen to me. Like they're going to do it anyways. So
yeah, that's the thing of expansion, man. If there's an opportunity to do it, they're going to do it. They're not going to think twice about it. But I guess I understand from that perspective too. It's like you want to make sure you have a solid foundation built there. I mean, how many years were there just 6 teams in the NHL, man? I think from 1942 to 1967, 25 years there is just those 6 teams, right?
Yeah.
And then long time ago, different situation. But it's like it sounds great, but you know, you want to make sure you have a solid, you know, original 6 foundation built here, and then you can kind of work from there. Yeah, for sure. But it seems like they got all the right markets here. Like there's always gonna be interest in Toronto, Montreal, New York, but some of these other places, I mean, Minnesota too, even. I think they got the right. These are the right places to start, I think.
Minnesota plays all their games at XL Energy Center.
Minnesota, there's always going to be like even high school hockey in Minnesota sells out like
Yeah.
the XL, like when they do that tournament there. So I mean, I think these locations you're always going to have interest, but as you expand further,
New York's been the team that struggled the most, though.
really,
Yeah, because last
Yeah.
year they were like they were bouncing around different arenas. Like they played some of their games at Prudential Center. They played some of their games in Connecticut, I want to say.
Oh.
They played some games on Long Island, and it just like nobody felt any sort of attachment to the team whatsoever, you know. And oh, good save. New York almost buried one
hopefully
there.
it won't be that way in Chicago. I think there would be interest here. Like I'm not saying they'd be selling out every night, but I think enough people will be showing up where they do well. I would think so. I'd be surprised. Like if I'm looking at like a potential expansion areas, like I don't know, I think they'd be up there for sure. You know, Detroit as well. Yeah.
So this arena that they're playing in right now,
This is in Ottawa.
it is in Ottawa.
Is it the 67s arena?
It is.
Yeah, I just saw the 67 on the ice there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's probably like junior size, right? That's probably like what, 10,000?
It says capacity is 9,862. So
Okay.
yeah, basically
That's probably
10,000,
right around where you
10,000.
want to be. Yeah, that's a
But
good
there's nothing
number
like
for
that here.
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah. Like I don't really know where because I know like there's that relatively new DePaul arena, but I think that's just for basketball. I don't think that can host hockey, right? Yeah.
So I this is a special inside scoop that I have, but they weren't allowed. They were gonna put the capabilities for ice in Wintrust Arena. That's the arena that DePaul plays in, and the United Center blocked it because they didn't want to have a competing arena that also had ice in the city. So which I think is insane that they're able to block that, you know, but
What?
yeah.
Yeah, like that's gonna be taken away. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Very odd.
They made it so they could not put ice down or the capabilities for ice.
Well, hopefully they put, a lot into that, fifth, third expansion area, make a rink possible there for that type of venue. I think that would be nice. Pay it forward to the community here, right? You want to talk about growing the game in Chicago. I think that would be the way to do it even further. There's a lot of untapped potential there. So now is the time to take advantage, I think. Yeah.
Especially like as the Hawks get better,
Oh yeah.
tickets are only going to become more expensive.
So you need alternatives, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that'd be a hell of an alternative, right? For sure. Yeah, and interest is only gonna get higher too as hockey gets good here again. It's gonna take time, but man, Like during this Bedsy era here, what we're building, right? Like that'd be a great market to, get a women's team here. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing too, like I do get the expansion thing because the other part of it is like there's a lot of good players on the outside looking in. You know, there's
That's
only
the
6
thing.
teams,
Yeah.
you know?
That's the way I look at it too. Like I get it from the business aspect, but from the players' side, it's like there's got to be a ton of talent right now that's just like sitting on the sidelines, and that's what kind of sucks. So it probably improved the league too more just to have more teams there and better. Like what's the playoff format like with 6 teams? Like is it like four
Top
got
4,
four
top
top
4
four? So it's like I just think the league that there'd be even more interest if there were more teams, more markets. Just more talent to go around. I think it would only do wonders for the league. Yeah.
New York had a great scoring opportunity there. They hit
Yeah.
they hit in this league too.
Oh wait, that's I was going to ask that too. Yeah, I've noticed a little bit of physicality. I don't know if I called them. That's good. I'm glad. That's the way it should be. Yeah. I
What do
want
you
to say the shots too are 16-13. That about halfway through this game. That's probably more shots than the Hawks would have most periods, most games this season. So
Yeah, but New York's had like 3 shots in the last like 20 minutes of play.
I've noticed
Like,
that they've been kind of bearing down there. You could
Yeah.
definitely tell the difference here between these teams for sure. Yeah.
I was saying I think they should wear visors so that way you can
Ah.
like see their face more.
Yeah, why don't they do that? That's interesting. Yeah.
I think they want to like protect their face too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
fair enough. Yeah.
they don't want to take a puck to the face like that, you know?
I get it. But yeah, it's like if you're, putting on this, if you want to be the top, women's hockey league here, I think, let's make it look as close to the real thing as you can, right? So yeah, take those cages off. Why not? Yeah, this isn't college. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Mhm.
We just got to follow her. Sully, you can hit the horn.
There we go. Let's go.
Let's go. Shout out Jack
Play
Skelly.
that horn. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, he was a beauty. Probably the best guest we've had so far, I would say. I mean, we love all the guests we've had, but Jack Skilly, I think he had the best stories there. Yeah. Very nice. It's just some Hawk stuff. I guess I could save it for the show tomorrow, but I don't know if you talked about Dickinson's out for the season injury during this stream. Have
Oh,
you?
no, I haven't.
Yeah, no.
We can talk about it now.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks for him, but I hate to think this way, but it's like for me, I look at that as like, oh, another spot opens for, this youth movement here, right? We're going to be getting a lot of these kids coming in, signing their ELCs when the college season's up. So like roster's only going to get younger. And for Dickinson, it's like, again, sucks for him. Hasn't really been the season he's wanted, but like with the way he's played, I think we've almost looked better with him out of the lineup. So like I look at that from the team's perspective, right? Not really, a terrible thing here. These last 11 games, right? So more ice time to go around for a lot of these young guys. So sucks for Dickinson, but compared to last year, even the year prior, he's definitely fallen off a little bit this season. So, it is what it is.
Yeah. Lee even said it too, that you could kind of like feel something was up after that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Canucks fans seem pretty happy about it, but yeah, that's their side of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, I don't know. Dickinson, it wasn't working. It was not working here.
Yeah, no, he hasn't had a good season. Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like when you extend a lot of these guys having career years, it doesn't mean it's going to happen again. They regress. So hopefully it doesn't happen again. But yeah. Oh, they're close here. Good chances here. Yeah, New York really bearing down. So New York is the last place team. Where's Ottawa ranked?
Second to last, but they're like,
Oh,
but they're
it's the battle of
second to
last
last
to
at a,
yeah.
you know what I mean? At a 6.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, fair enough.
they'll
Yeah.
be in the playoffs if they win this game. You know what I mean?
This is the Tank Bowl.
New York is the only team that's like out of the play. Like they're definitely out of the playoffs now.
Who's the expected number 1 overall pick in the PWHL this year? Who's the Misa over there?
So we could do a little PWHL prospect talk. Abby Murphy. Abby Murphy is
I'm familiar for a game. Yeah, Minnesota, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's right.
Did you see the video of
The
her?
hit that she laid recently, or what was
So
that?
there was the hit, which was a huge hit. There was
Yeah.
also the video of her doing the slap shot, the old slap shot into the empty net.
That's right. Yeah, they don't like it when you do that. Yeah, ask
Nobody likes
ask
it.
what's his name, Ridley Gregg, how that worked out for him. Yeah,
Yeah, she
Yeah,
did
no,
that though.
it's not written rule. You don't do that. No.
Yeah, no.
He's
Let's see
talented.
here.
I've seen some of her highlights. Yeah.
Yeah, she is very, very good. I just had it here too.
Is Caroline Harvey in the PWHL?
She is. She is.
Yeah. Okay, so no, she's on the younger side. I think defenseman pretty solid. Yeah.
Oh wait, is she in the PWHL?
I assume she
No,
was. I
she's
don't know.
not. No, she's
Oh,
not.
okay. Is she a prospect? Yeah.
She is. She is
Okay,
in
yeah.
she's in Wisconsin right now. So she just
Okay.
won the national championship.
Yeah,
Although
that's a good
she's
team
got
there.
she's
Yeah.
got another year at Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's next year's. That's the guy McKenna over there. I don't know.
Dude, she had 62 points in 40 games with Wisconsin this year.
I think she's
as a
It's a
defenseman.
defenseman. Holy jumping! I mean, I'm not sure how stats like in women's hockey compared to men's. But that just sounds.
That's
crazy.
impressive.
That
No.
sounds good. It was like video game numbers there. Yeah. Wonder who's the leading producer? Do they have like a Hart Trophy over there and all that stuff? Yeah.
In the PWHL.
Yeah.
So I will bring up the award names. We got a lot of questions here. So leading in points is Hillary Knight right now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And
that doesn't surprise
Sarah
me.
Fillier is number 2. She's only
Okay.
1 point behind. Yeah, Hillary Knight has 26 points in 24 games. And Sarah Fillier has 25 and 25. So point a game.
Okay. Emily Clark's in this game, right? I think she is.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's pretty good. I'm familiar with her. Yeah.
13th in league scoring right now.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised myself. Like even looking at these rosters, like I definitely recognize a few names here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so here are PWHL draft rankings. This is from December though, so these might have changed a little bit. So Abby
Okay.
Murphy's number 1. Haley Wynn, defenseman out of Clarkson, she's number 3.
Okay.
Casey O'Brien, who won the Patty Kazmaier, which is the Hobie Baker for women's hockey. She was the captain at Wisconsin. She's number 4 on this list. Nicole Gosling, number 5.
She related to Ryan Gosling?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
I'm just kidding.
Lacey Eden, who's also in Wisconsin, she's a beast.
Okay. I recognize a couple of these names from Chell because sometimes they play the Women's World Championship on there. Lacey Eden, I think she's on the U.S. team. Haley Wynn as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Haley Wynn's pretty high.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm looking out at some of these different names. Shout out
There's
Greek
There's
player
a Hughes in
Lily
this game. No relation to
Gabby
no,
Hughes. Yeah, no.
Gabby Hughes. Yeah, no relation. Yeah.
Maddie Samaskevich, her brother Mackie, is playing on the
Oh.
Panthers right now.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah.
She's on
I
this
think-
list.
I think Wyatt Kaiser's sister, Madison Kaiser, I think she plays in Minnesota. I don't know if
does she?
she's I don't know if she's like a PWHL prospect, but I'm pretty sure she plays with them. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think next year is going to be like a big draft for them.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
That'll be
because
big.
you have Caroline Harvey, you have Layla Edwards is a monster, dude. She's unbelievable.
Mhm. Nice. We have to think that's going to help out the league a ton because there's only been 2 drafts so far. So the talent's only going to, as they bring in more and more of these players, it's only going to get better. Yeah.
And so the other player I wanted to mention, you were like, who's next up?
Yeah.
The player that's like really next up is Chloe Primorano.
Okay.
So she is, I think, one of the first, if not the first player. You know where she's from, Justin?
Where is that?
North Vancouver.
No. Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No way. She probably knows Benzie. Yeah. That's hilarious.
So
That's really cool.
she,
Yeah, they breed hockey over there, man.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
She did the Macklin Celebrini of graduating high school a year early so she could attend University of Minnesota this year. She was only 17 when the season started. Defenseman, she had 31 points in 35 games this year as a
It's a 17-year-old in oh, that's pretty impressive.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
she had 10 points in 6 games at the women's under 18 world championships. And this is my other thing about international or women's hockey, but it is a gripe with international hockey too.
Is there a World Juniors and
No.
women's? No, there isn't. Oh. Huh.
That is their world juniors is the under 18s because there's
Okay.
no under 20.
There's no. What? Why?
I don't know. It goes from under 18 straight to the women's world championships, which to me is it's
odd.
dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah, that
And-
doesn't make any sense.
And if you're the IIHF, like the World Juniors makes them a lot of money. Like
Oh yeah.
a lot, like
Way
most
more
of
than the World Championships.
yeah,
Yeah.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah. So you put a women's World Juniors in Minnesota, like
Oh,
or
Oh, dude,
Toronto or Montreal or Edmonton. Like
that's a
people will
golden
eat
opportunity.
that up.
Yeah, like that would be huge for growth. Why aren't they doing that? Yeah, they got to fix that. Huh.
Yeah, I agree.
I just saw Alex Carpenter's name. I recognize her as well. She's on the Sirens team.
Yeah,
She's pretty good. I think she's always on the US teams.
yeah,
Uh,
she is really good.
yeah, hopefully they can take out who won last year between US and Canada. I can't
I
remember.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a good
always
question.
them. It's always them. Yeah. It's much different from like, you got like your top 5 or 6 in men's side, but it's like in the women's side, it's like USA and Canada are powerhouses. It's a bit of a drop off. Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up right now. Who won last
Yeah.
year? I don't know.
Oh, good.
Google is not helping me right now.
Yeah, so I got the game, like I got the stream on my computer and the game on my phone, so I'm not really able to look up stuff right now.
Oh, I
Yeah,
hear
my
you.
bad. Or else I'd be doing it on my own. Yeah, Ottawa up 2-0, probably what you'd expect here. Definitely looking like the best. It looked like a pretty even game though, honestly. And shots are literally even as well. Yeah, definitely. I'm impressed, like just with the speed and all that. I mean, obviously it's not the same, but like it's the level of hockey is still pretty. It's still really good. I mean, they dust the hell out of us, that's for sure.
I forgot. So Canada won 6-5 in overtime last year, and I remember that. That was like a crazy game.
Was it what's her name who got the game-winning goal? Probably.
No, it was not Marie-Philippe
Oh,
Poulin.
I figured.
But yeah, no,
If
that was in the U.S. That was in
yeah.
New York, in Utica, New York. They played it, and Marie-Philippe Poulin did have 2 goals in this game.
Of course she did. Yeah. Yeah, even the women's side, they own us. I'm so sick of being second to Canada all the time, man.
I won't lie, it is way more even though on the women's side than
It is. It feels like
yeah.
they kind of go back and forth over there. Whereas the men's, the men's side, it's always like a lot of hype, but we're always finishing. Yeah. We're always getting our sloppy seconds, unfortunately.
You see, the thing about the men is like, and it's kind of like the way it. I don't want to say it's the way it always will be for for the men, but like it kind of is. Like Canada's always going to produce like the best players.
Ottawa just scored.
Oh, they
Yeah.
did. Oh, are you a
Was
little
it
bit ahead of
Jenner?
me?
Yeah, I think I'm ahead of you here.
Yeah, you might be a few
Yeah,
seconds ahead of me.
Jenner. That
Yep.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, there it is. Brianne Jenner. Yeah,
Brianne Jenner. Okay, no relation to
Boone.
no. Or is there a relation there? I don't know. I'm just guessing. I just see
know.
Jenner, and that's where my mind goes. I don't know. Yeah, that was a nice goal. Nice little shot there. Yeah. Snipe. That probably puts. I don't want to say it puts the game away, but 3-0. Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, not related to Boone Jenner.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Look at that again. What a shot, dude. Look at that. Top cheese. Perfectly placed. That's a sick.
Good move too to like get into the zone and
Like,
that was a
take
sick
the middle
shot.
of the ice right there. That's smart. That's what you do. I just see Benzie do that a lot, right? Go up the middle of the ice there and then pick your spot. Boom, perfectly placed. Good stuff.
I think she went the whole season last year without scoring.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
I'm gonna look this up right now.
Okay. Huh.
Oh no, that's not true at all. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, I saw her name. I thought she was one of our better players. That's
No,
surprising.
she is.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
she
fair enough.
was good last year. Actually, I'm an idiot and don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, no worries.
I definitely watched way more of the PWHL last season than I am
Okay.
this year. Just because we're doing so much like Hawk stuff too. It's like,
Yeah.
when am I really gonna sit down and watch a ton of these games? But the
Today,
fact,
right here. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, that's true. But the fact that it's on YouTube is like a lot.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Just making the game accessible. That's just smart for them, right? Like, that's what they should do. Like there shouldn't be any barriers, right? If you're trying to grow this thing and grow women's hockey, like it should be as easy to watch as possible. Like, just to be able to watch the game for free or on YouTube, like that's great. Anybody can watch it. Good stuff.
Oh, 2-on-1 for Ottawa. Oh, good breakup.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for New York to get back in this one here. I'm sure racing a 3-goal deficit in women's hockey, that's probably pretty tough. Yeah.
Which it's still like, but it is. Yeah, it is tough. It's
Like
just
the structure's
shocks me.
there. Like it's not
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, it's definitely tough in that. Is it just me too? It isn't. Like why does the ice feel like larger? I know it isn't. Like it just feels like it is the perspective. I don't know why it feels like that.
I don't know why actually.
Yeah, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm seeing things. I don't know.
New York has way more talented players though. Like I don't know how they're not better than this.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, me, like I was surprised how many names I recognized on this list. Like I wouldn't expect them to be the worst team. I mean, I guess when there's only 6 teams though, it's like even if you're the worst team, you're probably not that bad. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like there's 32 teams here.
They're bad. They're like 3-7 though in their last 10. They're bad.
Oh, okay.
They're bad.
They're pretty bad. Okay. How long's the season?
I think it was 24 games last year, and I think they're doing 30 this year.
Oh, it's a short season. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I would love another subscriber to hear that horn again.
Yeah, no, it's need to leave a little more there, right? Hopefully we can get a little bit of that audience there. That'd be nice.
More cowbell.
Yeah. Increase our women's audience. What is it now? Like what is it, like 90-10 or something?
I don't think so. I think it's still. Yeah, they're gonna play
It's
30
more than
games
that?
this year.
Oh man.
No, it's not. It's like 2%, dude. It was 1% before.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
it was 99% men and 1% women
Oh my goodness.
that listen to our show.
Yeah, well we'll make those numbers a little more even there, right?
Yeah, we got to do a few more of these, and then we'll be
Yeah, there
cooking.
you go. Yeah. Growing the game here. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, like watching this, man. I gotta watch more of this stuff. I mean, honestly.
It's good hockey
been-
too. It's a little
I've
bit of
been
a break.
entertained.
It's a little bit of
Yeah.
a break from the
It's
NHL.
different. It's different, right? It's a change of pace. It's kind of therapeutic watching this, like, being used to screen my TV watching Blackhawks hockey, and this is just so like relaxing. It's just like, I don't know. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's nice. There we go. They're showing the standings here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. See,
Oh,
like,
they got
Ottawa's
look at the
right out
records
of it.
here. So do they do like a 3, 2, 1,
Yes,
0?
yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
You want to know something else that's pretty cool?
What's that?
So whoever finishes first gets to pick their first round opponent.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yep.
That's unique. I mean, I'd probably just pick the worst team every time, right?
Yeah, you would
Oh,
think.
no.
I
Yeah.
think that's what. I forgot who had it last year. I think it was Toronto had the pick last year, and I
Yeah.
think they picked the worst team and then lost in the first round because
Even the women's side,
that
Toronto's
what
choking
happened?
in the playoffs. That's hilarious.
yeah. So they picked Minnesota in the first round. They ended up losing after being up in the series like 2-0. I think they lost 3 straight, and they did. Tim Tebow's confirming for
They're
me.
doing their best Maple Leafs impression there. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Hockey in Toronto, man, you choke when it matters.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just had to throw my digs in there.
Are the Leafs winning right now? Oh, they are. They're up 6-1. All right.
Oh, jeez. Who are they playing tonight?
The Flyers.
Oh, there we go. Flyers suck.
That means between the Leafs and the Blackhawks, they've pumped
13 goals.
Yeah, 13 goals.
Consecutive touchdowns. Yikes.
Yeah, that's
you-
brutal.
I mean, you let the Blackhawks put 7 in, you got problems. The Leafs, it's like, okay, at least it's a respectable team there. And Torts has got to be fuming.
Ottawa almost put one in there.
Yeah.
Oh, turnaround
Yeah,
slapper.
Yeah, they're slipping and sliding all over the place right
I
now.
know. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Oh, you know why the IC probably seems bigger because the players are generally smaller. That's probably why.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah. Fair enough.
They're not all 6'4",
Exactly. Yeah. No. That's probably
200,
it.
240-pound men. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's probably it. Yeah. Like I said, I do like these Sirens jerseys. Like the color scheme's pretty
cool.
nice. It's different. Yeah, it's unique. You don't see that very often.
That would be the one I would wear. Like if I were to wear a PWHL jersey, it would be a Sirens jersey.
What jersey are you wearing there?
I'm wearing my Team Greece jersey.
I
I didn't know what to wear tonight, to be honest with you. Like I didn't know what kind of jersey to wear, so I figured since we're doing a women's team for the first time, I would wear this to, as like a shout out to them a little bit.
That kind of looks like a PWHL expansion jersey there. Yeah. I don't know why. Like, it just looks like a jersey you'd see like in this. I don't know.
Somebody, I think
Yeah.
it was Trevor in chat, asked if it was Finland, as like there's like a Greek flag on the shoulder right there. It's like,
jeez.
no, dude, that is not Finland.
Yeah, you gotta learn your flags there, buddy. From here, it kind of looks like a snowflake in the middle there.
It is.
Oh, that's what that. Oh,
It is. Yeah.
yeah, real Yeah, I'm just bringing the analysis here tonight.
And that is the end of period number 2.
All right. So they let's see, 3-0 game here. Ottawa wins the period. I think it was 2-0 going in that period, right?
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, New York's got to avoid the shutout here. I don't know if they're going to come back and win this, but don't lay a goose egg here.
It would have been nice.
Yeah, I'd like to see them get on the board here.
I just want to see Sarah Fillier do something sick. Maybe another Abbey Rock, Michigan would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Who's the top goalie in the PWHL? I recognize that name, Levy. I think she's on the U.S. World Championship team or something. Yeah.
That's even more of like what I was talking about of like all these players are so good. You know what I mean? Like every
why is this team
goalie.
last? They have good players. I don't understand. Yeah.
So top goalies in the league. Let's go based off of wins for right now.
Yeah. What team's Frankel on?
She's on Boston. She's outstanding.
Okay. What about Nicole Hensley? Is she in the PWHL?
Yes, she's on the Minnesota Frost, although it appears as if she's the backup to Maddie Rooney.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Corinne Schroeder, who is not in net tonight for New York, but she is their goalie. She's been really good. Renee Debienne is rocking a .932 save percentage while leading the league with 13 wins.
Damn,
so
932. So she's gonna win the Vezina over there.
Yeah. Kristen Campbell is also really good for Toronto. Like all these goalies are great. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which makes it like if you're a young goal, like if you're a goalie coming out of college, like you're not gonna play. Like
because there's just so much. There's that because there's limited spots there, right? I mean, there's only probably 2, maybe 3, probably only 2 goals, maybe 3 goalies a team, 2 goalies. Yeah.
I think they have like practice rosters and like reserve players and stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah.
All right, you want to do some PWHL awards?
Yeah, because there's no like minor league PWHL, so yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, let's get an awards here. Yeah.
Okay. The MVP is the Billie Jean King MVP award.
Okay, nice. That's their Hart Trophy.
Yeah, that is their Hart Trophy. It looks like all the other awards aren't like they're not named after anybody, just the Billie Jean King one. Otherwise, it's like Forward of the Year, Defender of the Year, Goaltender of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year.
Nice. Yeah. I was going to say, like, who's like the GOAT? I guess you already said it, but like maybe not now, but like retired women's hockey. Like, who's probably like the best player of all time or up there? Yeah.
I don't know. Haley Wickenheiser was always my GOAT.
Yeah. I recognize that name. Yeah.
Yeah, she now works for the Maple Leafs, actually. Trying to think, like Angela James is like a really like historic name in the sport. Cami Granato too.
Sure. Yeah.
Angela Ruggiero.
That's a good hockey family. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Got Tony Granato, Don Granato. Yeah.
Cami Granato's married to Ray Ferraro too.
Oh, really? There you go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But you know, I think Haley Wickenheiser's kind of considered the GOAT by many outside of Poulin, right? So
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you'd like to get off your chest here? Thank you for joining the stream today.
Oh yeah, it's a pleasure to join. Yeah, and it looks like I got a good game here, and yeah, I think just gotta watch more women's hockey. That's my main takeaway after that period. I've watched a little bit here and there. I check in, but I gotta watch it more in my free time. But yeah, no, that's all I got. I'll see you on the show tomorrow. Yeah.
Cool. See you on the show tomorrow. Later.
All right. Adios.
Was Tim Tebow able to swipe him away at the right time before Justin left? Let's watch. Oh, yeah, right there. You're right there, Tim.
Yeah, I was.
Nobody can hear you.
I didn't hit the mute hard enough. Yeah, I was ready for it this time.
There you go. Hey, we just got another follower. Hit the horn for everybody. Let's go. Let's go. As Lee would say, everyone up. All right. You want to hit a break? Tim? Yeah. All right. Let's hit a break. This is from the Luke Fox conversation we had yesterday on the show. So let's hear that, and we'll be back for the third period. Hopefully New York can get on the board. See you soon, everybody. Stick around. Right. Luke, how are you today? Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm doing well. Just trying to catch my breath. Just got back from Nashville yesterday, which is one of my
Ooh.
favorite stops on the NHL tour for sure.
I've been there. Have you two been to Nashville? Great city.
I
Yeah.
have. It's a fun
have
city.
too.
I
Yeah.
went this summer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like the whole city's kind of right around the Bridgestone Arena. Like
That's right.
It's like
Yeah.
at the
The
heart of the
Strip.
city. Yeah, which is pretty cool.
It's
right.
I recommend, like, if you're a fan of a team and you're looking for like an away game to go to Nashville, because you're exactly right. After the game, the doors open and Bridgestone spills right onto Broadway where
Yep.
all the honky tonks are. It's
Yep.
like
That's right.
it's a great time. There's a lot of Leaf fans there traveling and making the best after a bad loss. They managed to have some fun afterwards anyway.
Yeah, it's funny to bar hop and listen to all the music there and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you make of that Leafs game in Nashville? 5-2 loss.
Great first period, horrible second and third period for the Leafs, and a blown opportunity because the results of the Florida and Tampa games were already in. Both those teams lost in regulation, and I really feel like it's imperative for Toronto, well, for all three teams to try and get that first seed in the Atlantic and avoid that dreaded 2-3 matchup, because whoever gets stuck in there it's going to be a war. And even the team that wins that 2-3 matchup is probably going to come out pretty banged up.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably say the same for the Central Division for the Avs and Stars.
Dallas,
So a contender is going to get dropped off in round one in both the Atlantic and Central, in my opinion. So for the Leafs to blow it against, a team that's a bottom feeder heading for the draft lottery in Nashville, when they had control of the game, had a 2-0 lead, and give up 5 unanswered to one of the weakest offenses in the league, I thought it was a really blown opportunity. And it's one of those things where, if when the dust settles, if the Leafs miss the playoffs by a point or two, you're going to circle that Nashville game as one they should have taken care of business.
Would you say that it's probably most imperative for the Leafs to win that division? Because, like, if you're Florida, you've been there, done that. Same with Tampa. Whereas for Toronto, it just feels like they would have a harder time with that first round matchup. If they could play a wild card team, it would be an easier road for them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's kind of been the tough thing for Leaf fans, is they've watched this group have good regular seasons, but they've never won the Atlantic Division in their whole history. They won the division once, and that was in the COVID year when it was the North Division, the All Canadian Division. But they haven't set themselves up to have the most success, to have a quote unquote easier first round opponent. Because if you can take care of business in 5 games and not push it to 7, and make the regular season count by drawing a first round opponent that isn't as tough or as seasoned as Florida or Tampa, it just sets you up so much better. One, you have home ice, but 2, if you take care of the series quickly, then you're more rested too. So there's pressure amongst the Leafs. Like, they're talking about it. They want to get the Atlantic crown, and they actually have a pretty good week coming up here. Like, tomorrow, Philly's in town. Philly's really fighting it.
Yeah, they're not good.
And then they go out to California and they get the Sharks and the Ducks, a couple more non-playoff teams. So this is an opportunity for them to stack some points.
We want to do Leafs talk with you, but while we're kind of on the subject, I'd love to hear your perspective on it. Playoff format. Are you a fan of this division setup like we have right now, or do you want to go back to the 1 versus 8? And I know Bettman just shut that down. But are you a 1 versus 8 stan like I am?
Yes, 100%. I think 1 to 16 is a bit too much, just in terms of the travel, and then it's like, then you start to wonder, why do we even have conferences? The NHL actually had a 1 through 16 for a little while, like back a few decades ago. They tried it, but I think 1 to 8 is the way to go. I get it. They're trying to build these rivalries, but I really think the 82 game season is just so long that the teams that finish near the top should be rewarded.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like the number 2 seed should get a 7 seed. The 3 should get a 6. Like there has to be more reward for regular season success. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the 1 through 8, but anytime you hear the commissioner talk, it really doesn't sound like he's into it at all, unfortunately.
Which is so weird. Do you also feel like I don't know, the current format to me seems like it bleeds into like trade deadline decisions and stuff for some of these teams, because now all of a sudden you're going more based off of like what your division's doing rather the conference or like the whole playoff picture. Like we saw it this year where teams in the Atlantic really loaded up. It was an arms race in the Atlantic, and then it was the same thing in the Central. But then the Pacific and the Metro, kind of like all those teams stand pat a little bit because it's like, hey, we're not running into these juggernauts until like the conference finals, so it like doesn't matter as much. Do you see that being kind of a problem as well?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. I think it was really emphasized this year, maybe more than some other years,
Yeah.
but for sure. I mean, like Dallas, Colorado, Winnipeg added a couple pieces in Shen and Tanev, but they were trying to add more. And I do think that's because that division is going to be a war, and the Atlantic, like you said, like Florida going out and getting Seth Jones and Brad Marchand, which for me was the biggest surprise of the deadline.
Yeah.
Tampa getting Bjorkstrand. That there was and Yanni Gord, like for sure those two divisions stocked up the most. And you look at the Metro, and it's quite a bit softer, I think. And I want to give maybe more respect to the Washington Capitals, and maybe some people are giving them. I think some people think it's a bit of a fluke, maybe just because they flipped the switch from being a team that barely got into the playoffs to being a President's Trophy contender. But the Devils are fighting it a bit. Carolina has actually done okay, but you look at their roster, they lost Martin Nikas, and then they also lost Renton. It's like, people are wondering if they really have the star power to go all the way. So yeah, divisionally speaking, it seems kind of lopsided on both halves of the bracket, and that's a good point that you make about the trade deadline kind of being maybe affected by the playoff format.
Which teams do you like here? Do you have a favorite kind of approaching these playoffs? Yeah.
Oh, I love the Central teams. The Colorado Avalanche, I've gotten to see them twice in person since the deadline, and they are just so fast and so well connected. They're an excellent passing team and excellent transition team. They have, Cale Makar, who I just think is such a difference maker. I think it's going to be tough to get by Dallas, but if they can, and I think the fact that Miro Heiskanen hasn't been playing kind of helps Colorado's cause. I'd be really scared to face the Avalanche. Right now, they look to me like the best team since the deadline. And I think post-deadline is the best time to assess where the teams are at, because then the roster's intact. They're really sharpening their swords for the playoffs. And that team's flying. It's a speed game. They play really fast. They have arguably the forward who's most dialed in right now, Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah.
The defenseman. We'll see. I think Mackenzie Blackwood's had a good season. We'll see what he can do in the playoffs. He hasn't really, that's one question mark, I think, because he just doesn't have the playoff pedigree yet. But in terms of strength up the middle, good back end, I really like the Avs right now.
Luke, what are your thoughts on the local team here in Chicago? I know it's not a team you get to see very much, but it's been a challenging season here where many expected more progress than we've seen. Just what do you think is, what is ailing the Blackhawks right now, and what is maybe the solution to get to where they want to be?
Yeah, I don't think there's an easy solution. I think it's tough. It's a tough season. I know they weren't supposed to be a playoff team by any means, but they were supposed to take a step forward. Surround Bedard with the right kind of veterans and all that. The bright side is cap space won't be an issue going forward. That they Davidson has some room to wiggle with here and try and structure a team, build a team, but you can't just have all young guys.
Yeah.
I love Nick Foligno, guys. I think he's like one of the strongest character guys in our sport. I just don't think they have enough solid veterans, and maybe like guys that are late 20s, early 30s. I just don't think there's enough to build a team around and bring the youth up the right way. And I feel like we're still a few years away from this team making noise. And then, I was talking about the Central. Making things harder for the Blackhawks is they play in what I think is probably the toughest division in hockey right now.
Yeah.
Like in order to make any noise, you have to go against like some of the fiercest opponents and true contenders, and it just takes time to build up that depth. They stripped it down so much to the bone, kind of like the way Buffalo did, like tried to tank so hard that when you bottom out that severely, I think it just takes a really long time in this league to reload. And a credit a team like the Washington Capitals that didn't do that. They made some adjustments, but then quickly got back on track. And it's tough to do. The tank to get the generational player model is a tough one, and it's a long one.
So we talk about surrounding Bedard with talent there. We've been, you could maybe say delusional on this show, maybe not. But there's a certain player in the Maple Leafs land. There's contracts going to be up here pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
Do you think there's any possibility?
We talk about him every single day on the show.
Oh,
do you think there's any possibility it could happen, or are we completely off our hinges here?
No, I think there's a possibility.
Yeah.
I do. Just because it feels like a coin flip, and it feels very dependent on A, how Mitch Marner performs in the playoffs, but B, how the team performs. It's not just the Leafs trying to figure out if they want to pay this guy. It's the player himself trying to figure out if he can win here, and does he really want to commit? Because what they're going to try and do is get him for 8 more years, and it's like, does he want to spend the rest of his prime here, or is he tired of it? Does he want a fresh start? And it's very concerning to Leafs management that this guy is full no move. The fact that they approached him to waive it for a potential deal with Rantanen shows you that they're not convinced that he's staying. Even though they've made overtures to him, he doesn't want to talk contract yet. He wants to push it to see what happens till after the playoffs. And if he does go to market, I mean, Chicago won't be the only franchise, but they can offer a lot, right? Because it's a cash-rich team, great city. Everyone respects the history, and then.
Are we back?
We are back.
We're back. We were just hearing from New York SIRENS head coach Greg Fargo talking about what they need to do in the third period to get back in this one. And it probably starts with getting the first one. I think New York's been, at times, the better team. There was, I guess, feels like the game is a bit more even than a 3-0 hockey game right now. Oh, New York almost got the first one right there. Keep it up. They're throwing everything at the net. Puck goes out of play. Let's do a little look around the NHL. Leafs up 6-2 on the Philadelphia Flyers right now. Couple of goals for John Tavares. Couple of goals for William Nylander. Sabres up 3-2 on the Senators right now. Tage Thompson's got the go-ahead goal there early on in the third period. Lightning up 6-0 on Pittsburgh in the intermission. Woof. Second intermission, I should say. Pittsburgh has 8 shots on goal in that game so far. Lightning almost have as many goals as them, as they have shots. Predators up 2-1 on the Hurricanes. Chicago Blackhawks legend Taylor Hall with the goal for the Hurricanes there. Blues up 2-1 on the Canadiens. That's one of our CHR games of the week. Golden Knights up 1-0 on the Wild. Caps Jets are 1-1 in the first intermission. The great chase continues. And then we have 3 games yet to start, although Red Wings Avalanche should be starting soon. So should Kraken and Flames. Rangers Kings is the nightcap. Puck drop at 9:30 Central. New York putting the pressure on here early in the third. Let's hope they can make it a game here a little bit. Another offensive zone face-off coming for the Sirens. Got to get it to the net. Bad turnover by Ottawa. And they score. There you go. That's what you needed. They were buzzing for that one. We got a hockey game here, everybody. 3-1. Yeah, I'm sold. Those are my favorite jerseys in this league right now. They might be one of my favorite hockey jerseys putting together the NHL and the PWHL. Those Sirens jerseys are sick. Yeah, traffic in front, shot from the point. This is a snipe. Deflected? Yeah, it might have gotten off that player, but I don't think so. All right, it's 3-1. Brooke Hobson with her second goal of the season. And we have ourselves a hockey game. From Abby Rock and El Harchi. Got to get another one here. Get another one quick. And I mean, this is a totally different hockey game. Oh, they're showing the goal again. Yeah, traffic in front. Handcuff the goalie a little bit. Speaking of handcuffs, so there was a big commotion going on outside during the first period. Tim Tebow and I were wondering what it was, and we look out the window of the studio, and there were 6 cop cars, along with what appeared to be a bunch of high schoolers who were being accused of stealing from the Lululemon store nearby. And I think the cops let them all go, which is good. All right, let's see something here, New York. Got to keep the momentum going. It was a good first 2 minutes. Now you gotta keep it up. These two teams also missed the playoffs last year. So Ottawa is hoping to avoid missing the playoffs for a second straight year. New York does look like they will be on the outside looking in, unless they go on a miracle run for the ages here. And that starts by winning this hockey game. So you got to get back into it. Not a lot of sustained offensive zone time for any team, like with possession of the puck. A lot of hits, though, man. Oh, there's a good chance for New York. Good save. There's Captain Mike is Andy Hart. Yeah, the traffic was a little late there on that one. So I'm trying to see here. Canada has named their team for the Women's World Championships happening in April. I don't know if the United States has yet. I can look that up here, but I'm just reading players that are in this game that are on Team Canada. You have Mike Zandy Hart from New York, Ella Shelton from New York. That's it for defense and goaltending. Up front, Emily Clark, Sarah Fillier, Brianne Jenner, Danielle Serdachny on Ottawa too. She's a really good player. She's still coming to her own though in the PW. It feels like a little bit. Let's see if we can get the U.S. Women's Worlds roster. Oh, they have released the roster. Alex Carpenter is on the team. Few college players that we were mentioning. Layla Edwards. I think they're going to play Layla Edwards at defense too, which is kind of interesting because she's a forward. So Lacey Eden is on the team. Savannah Harmon of Downers Grove, Illinois is on the team. Caroline Harvey, too, another college player. Yeah. A lot of college players on the U.S. roster. Kind of interesting. Gwyneth Phillips in net for Ottawa right now will be on the U.S. women's team roster. New York's buzzing right now. They have a power play. Good move at the blue line. And they score. Wow. What a move from Sarah Fillier. Holy cow. That's unbelievable. What a sick goal. 3-2. This is a hockey game here. Yeah, that's the next up in this sport. I know there's good players coming up, but what a awesome move at the blue line and just snipes it over Phillips' shoulder. Wow. What a shot. That's the most talented player in the sport right now. th goal of the season for Sarah Fillier. And we have a 3-2 hockey game right now with 15:33 remaining in the third. How about that? Man, Justin left when it started to get good. Lane Hudson has 49 assists in 70 games, most assists by a Canadians rookie. He's got to win the Norris Trophy this season. I don't think people understand, like, Lane Hudson's phenomenal. The kid just commands the puck. Like, it is so impressive how good he is. He's my pick for the Calder this year. You know, Wolf is my number 2, Celebrini is my 3, and that's not a knock on the season that any of those guys have had. You know, I think if Montreal makes the playoffs, then Hudson's the slam dunk. If Calgary makes the playoffs, then Wolf is more of a slam dunk. But, you know, for people that aren't watching Lane Hudson, Like, I mean, what he's doing this season is remarkable. I heard somebody compare him to Josh Allen the other day, just with the, not necessarily in size and stature, but, just the impact of how good he is and what that does to an organization. Like, Lane Hudson has completely changed the outlook on the Montreal Canadiens. Oh, here comes New York a little bit. Shot blocked on the 2-on-1. Didn't really have much of a look there for a pass. Great energy from the Sirens this period. And did they just take a penalty away from the puck? Looks like New York is going back on the power play here. Some of the fans are in a bit of disarray over that one. What happened? Oh, they're showing the Fillier goal again. I mean, that's a crazy move. What was the penalty? Oh, yeah. Just dumped her without... the puck is nowhere near her at all. And yeah, that's a penalty. That's interference. All right, New York back on the power play. Chance to tie the game here after being down 3 at the start of the third period. Ottawa coming out really aggressive so far early on the power play or penalty kill. You got to get it to Fillier. I don't know why you're shooting it with no traffic in front. If we're talking about rules from the PWHL that the NHL needs to adopt, then get rid of the trapezoid too. I'm so over it. More goalies, the whole reason the trapezoid was put in the first place was because of guys like Marty Brodeur, who were basically like a third defenseman back there, being able to handle the puck. But the thing is, like, more goalies in the NHL can't handle the puck than can. Like, yeah, they're all really good at it, but like, they're not even all close to the same level. Like, there's a few. Oh, good chance there. Good job winning the puck, keeping it open and alive. Fillier's got it now. And shots blocked and goes up and out of play. But yeah, they got to get rid of the trapezoid here. Like, it doesn't limit what you thought it was going to limit anymore. Like, yeah, there's guys, but there's not really goalies that handle the puck like that anymore. There is no Marty Brodeur in the NHL right now. Like, some of the guys handle the puck really well, but you're trying to create more offense. You're going to create more offense by allowing the goalies to play the puck out. Oh, bounce almost went in for New York there. Got to set it up. Don't rush it. You got time. Good save there by Phillips. Oh, puck hopped over her stick. I don't know who that is. Number 40. Looks like it's the second unit out there for New York. Oh, that almost went in. Phillips covers the puck. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle there. An Abbey Rock jersey hates to see me coming. That's funny. Let me know if we're putting an order for Sirens jerseys in. I'll get one. Oh, what a save that was. That was an unreal save. That should have been a tie game right there. New York dominating, though, early in the third. In this period. Oh, and they scored. Oh, my gosh. Right as the power play is about to end. Wow. And TD Place is silent right now. Jade Downey Landry. Nice job. What happened here? Shot from the point. Tipped. Yep. It's a good goal. I think the goalie was calling for a high stick there, but I don't I don't think that was a high stick. It also goes off of Zoe Boyd there. So tough bounce for Boyd. Man, these Ottawa fans are in disbelief right now. Oh, are we doing this right now? Stop it. We're not challenging this, are we? You can't. That's a good goal. It's a goal, not a good goal. I learned that from Jeff Merrick. You should never say it's a good goal. You should just say it's a goal. Oh my gosh, it's under review. What are we doing? What are we doing? For what? I get how that looks like a high stick a little bit because she's deflecting it in front of her and not to the side. That's, you see, but the fact that it goes off Zoe Boyd to me should negate the fact that it might have been played with a high stick. I think there's no way they call this back. I think they're showing the video room where they're replaying it a little bit with the off-ice officials. You cannot, first of all, this review has already taken too long. We're at the point now where this has gone on too long. What are we doing? You know what's not growing the game? This. Oh, that might have been a little bit high. That angle, the far out angle of it doesn't look great. I just, you can't be taking goals back right now. Even if they do take it back, though, I think New York's going to put another one in the net. Oh, seems like we have a verdict here. Is it a goal? Second goal of the season for Jade Downey Landry. They didn't show the ruling on the ice, but that's so weird. Okay. You don't show the ruling on the ice. You don't show the ref making the call. But it is a good goal. It does stand. And we have a tie hockey game. Who would have thought? Honestly, I wasn't thinking tie game when this game went into second intermission. I was not thinking tie game at all. That's exciting, though. We got a tie game here. Come on now. It's the first CHR PWHL live stream. This is absolute cinema, Rager. That is correct. Sorry, we have a commercial break now, so I'm catching up on some correspondence here. Imagine this game going into a shootout and Tassos is here for another hour. I hope not. Tim Tebow and I, when we were at I think I told this story before, but I'll tell it again. When Tim Tebow and I went to the Frozen Frenzy, where I got all the college hats that I wear every day, it seems like on the show, but the games that they had at Wrigley Field, the Big Ten games, It was Ohio State, Wisconsin. We saw the national championship matchup this year in person at Wrigley Field. And first of all, the fact that the game on Sunday went into overtime, the game we saw went into a shootout, like those teams are so evenly matched. But it was like a 14 round shootout, and Tim and I are just sitting there that it was terrible. It was 14 rounds, and it was cold, and it was snowing, and the ice was poor, so it just felt like everybody's just stuffing it into the pads there, and it just nobody was scoring. I don't think anybody scored for 14 rounds. Like there may have been one goal on each side through 14 rounds of a shootout, and then I forgot even who won. Did Ohio State win that game?
I believe so, because I feel like I came in rooting for a 2-0 Scotty overall games that day, and they went 0-2.
Yeah. So Ohio State won that one, but Wisconsin won the one that mattered on Sunday. So shot from the point, good save Phillips. 12 minutes left in the third period. Ottawa's been on their heels. Now they got numbers going the other way. Good defensive play, though. Oh, that's a penalty? I want to see the replay on that. That looked a little soft. Maybe just an even up call there, but is it Ottawa going to the box? Oh, it is. What happened? Oh, yeah. Can't do that. Can't do that. She tried to take her down. Teresa Vanasova tried to take her down and ended up falling on her own and taking a holding penalty. So New York goes back on the power play with a chance to take the lead after being down 3-0 a mere 9 minutes ago. Now they could go up 1 here. And that would be a real big blow to the chances of Ottawa here, not just in this game, but to make the playoffs. You know, the Walter Cup champions from last year, the Minnesota Frost, are in the 4th spot right now, and that team is good.
Exactly where they were last year when they went on to win.
When they went on to win the exactly. So, you know, you got to beat up on New York. If they're the last place team in the league, again, I've said this many times on the stream, I don't know how they're in last place. I guess when there's 6 teams, it's easy to let the season slip away from you. But yeah, this is not a great second half of the game here for Ottawa. Looks like after the Brianne Jenner goal, they just kind of took their foot off the gas. I can't wait until 2028. I believe that's when the NCAA championship games will be in the United Center. I think you are right. Is it 2027 or 2028? I think it might be 27. And I think it's just the men's. I don't know where the women's are being held, but I think the men's. Are you on that for me, Tim? Or no, you want me to look it up? I can do it too. You look up where the men are, I'll look up where the women are.
For the men's Final Four in 2028, they're in Las Vegas. 2027, they're in Detroit.
And then 28, they're here?
No, so 26 Indianapolis, 27 Detroit, 28 Las Vegas, 29 Indianapolis.
Is that the women?
Oh, why?
Are you looking at basketball? I feel like you're not looking.
It did come up as basketball, and I
Sully.
didn't recognize that.
Tim. I was going to say Vegas and Indiana. There's no NCAA hockey championship in Indiana.
Yeah, 2028 is United Center.
27 or 8?
28.
Oh, it is. Okay, that guy was right. I was wrong. Unknown boy. Next year, the women's is in State College, Pennsylvania. 27 is in Duluth, Minnesota, and 28 is in Fairfield, Connecticut. So Chicago will not be getting the women's Frozen Four here anytime soon, but they will be getting the men's in 2028. So did you see Demko's save against New Jersey last night late in overtime? It absolutely robbed Paul Cotter. I did see that. And yes, Quinn Hughes did biff that play, even though I've never heard that term. And can't believe they didn't score. Yeah, I can't believe they didn't score either. What was even funnier was Quinn Hughes after the game being like he played that 2-on-1 terribly like usual. And I just thought that was a really funny clip. And you know, I think it's been a really hard season for Quinn Hughes in Vancouver, and he has been able to push through, and the support he's been giving guys that have been there with him for so long, like Pedersen and Demko, like he's just such a good leader, like such a great leader for that organization that, boy, if they lose him, that's going to be a tough blow. That might not be one you recover from for a very, very long time. But yes, that Demko save was 10 out of 10. Really good stuff. Sorry, we have a commercial break in progress here. Great hockey game so far, though. This has been good. It felt like New York was building to something here. I said it right off the hop. They haven't played like it was a 3-0 hockey game going into the third period. They were bad for stretches, but it wasn't a 3-0 game. So now it's all knotted up at threes. New York did not score on that power play. 2-on-1 here, though, developing. Nice pass. Oh, did she miss? What happened? Maybe she didn't get all of it on that she wanted to. I don't know. And they score. Oh, my gosh. New York takes the lead. Wow. Oh, my gosh. These Ottawa fans are crushed. Is that Downey Landry again? Wow, what a blast that was. Just popped out to her from a board battle. And what happened on this 2-on-1? Did she save that? Yep, and then puck squirts out. What a blast. Jade Downey Landry had 1 goal all season. She's got 2 here tonight. That's what hockey's all about, baby. Ottawa's got a press here. I mean, that should make this last 8 minutes and 43 seconds really exciting. Third goal of the season, second tonight for Jade Downey Landry. Ottawa's got to get going here. I'm watching this New York team in the third period. I understand the second was not their best, but I'm watching them now. I don't understand how this isn't a top team in the P-Dub right now. They're physical. They can shoot the puck. They're creative. Ottawa just looks slow and tired right now. Ottawa has pulled a Maple Leafs level choke. Yeah, they have. It's all right. I don't take offense. Yeah, I mean, some of the other, I mean, I do understand how New York is in last. Oh, giveaway and they score. Wow. 5-3 New York. Is that Fillier again? Oh my gosh. These Ottawa fans, they need to stop panning to this crowd after New York scores a goal because, oh my gosh, they're all miserable. Some of them are holding back laughter. Yeah, it is Fillier again. Yeah, you probably don't want to turn the puck over to Sarah Fillier. That's a brutal turnover. Yeah. Good job putting pressure, but like, come on. Yeah. Tried to get too cute with it. What a shot. 5-3 New York. I wonder if Justin knows. I'm going to shoot him a text. You guys should set up a GoFundMe to buy the broadcasting rights so we could watch every Hawks game on CHRSN. That's hilarious. I would love that. We would need quite a bit of money for that. New York in alone again. Stop by Phillips. She'll cover. 6:45 remaining in period number 3. CHRSN. Let's do it. Sarah Fillier, 12th of the season. Did they give an assist to Alex Carpenter on that? Yeah, they did. I don't know why. That was a brutal turnover from whoever. I mean, I guess Carpenter might have gotten a stick on it. I don't know. A phantom assist for Alex Carpenter. And that should push Sarah Fillier now into top spot in league point race right now. As nobody else is playing. The next PWHL games you have are Wednesday. You have Toronto and Boston playing each other, and then you have Montreal visiting Minnesota on Wednesday, and then you've got the game in St. Louis Saturday afternoon. Yes, Sarah Fillier now leads the PWHL in scoring. 27 points, 1 up on Hillary Knight. Although she has played in 2 more games. I mean, I don't know. Like, you probably can't give her MVP because her team is in last place. But you could probably... I mean, she should be the forward of the year, not just the rookie of the year. She should be the forward of the year. But, I mean... Can somebody be an MVP of a league if their team finishes in last place? I don't know. You guys tell me.
This is the second time, at least, that the wait, what?
Oh, what do you got there?
That Ottawa has lost down 3 to the Sirens this year.
No way, really?
Yeah.
After being up 3, you mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Leading 3-0.
Wow. Yeah, Ottawa's just not as talented. Like, Brianne Jenner, Emily Clark, Teresa Vanasova are good players. Like, I'm trying to think. I'll look through their roster again. You know, they traded away Savannah Harmon this year in a really puzzling move. Illinois native Savannah Harmon. I know I already said that, but... You know, Zoe Boyd is good. Danielle Serdachny is good. But they just picked her in the draft. Like, that's somebody that's going to need a little bit of time before she really becomes what she's supposed to be at this level. I think they've gotten saved by some good goaltending at times, Ottawa. But, like, that's not good, man. That's really brutal. Second time you've blown a 3-0 lead to the worst team in the NHL, in the PWHL. Is that the most on-topic stat from Tim of all time? Yes, everybody, tune into more PWHL games. I'd love to make this more of a thing of me coming down and live streaming some of these games. This has been fun. I'll definitely like try and do it for some of like the bigger playoff games. I think that would be kind of cool, especially since their playoffs are going to begin before the NHL playoffs do. So we won't be in like full CHR playoff mode quite yet. Oh, the Penguins got on the board. It's 6-1. Sidney Crosby needs to go to the Colorado Avalanche. What a collapse from Ottawa, though. I would love to know what the shots are this period, because now New York is outshooting them 33-18, and it was not that way. Do they have that available here? They should. Aha, yes. Holy cow, Sully, you want to know what the shots are this period?
Yeah, give it to me.
17-0 for New York.
Oh my Jesus. Sweet Jesus.
That's
Man,
unreal.
Joseph.
What a total collapse. Oh, I guess Sarah Fillier took a slashing penalty. So Ottawa's going on the power play here. Maybe they can get a shot on goal now. 17-0 is inexcusable. Wow. And they can't even get this power play going at all. New York clears after Ottawa was just fumbling the puck all over the place. Ottawa's power play is 0 for 3. Maybe they'll try and get one here. Oh, there's a... Did that miss the net? Danielle Serdachny might have missed the net there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she gets off the ice frustrated after that one. Yeah, she missed the net. They still don't have a shot on goal. That's wild. That's a Blackhawk stat line. That is a Blackhawk stat line. Another miscue, and New York clears. Wow. New York almost has as many shots in this period as Ottawa does the whole game. 17-18. They just look like they've totally given up, which is wild because you're right there on the verge of a playoff spot. So Gwyneth Phillips hasn't given up in the net, though. 3:21 remaining. And they're offside on the zone entry. Men's, women's hockey, that is a killer. When you go offside on a power play zone entry, that kills you. It's just 0 shots for the third, not the whole game. You're being too cute with the puck, and then you lose it. Ottawa still has possession, though. They've pulled the goalie now with 2:42 remaining, and New York steals the puck. They're just dogs on bones right now. Philly A out there. Potential hat trick watch right now. Timeout called by Ottawa. Look, I'm not claiming to be like a huge PWHL watcher right now. I am going to get more into it. But like borderline embarrassing loss? Is that too much of a stretch to say for Ottawa? You're up 3 in the third period over the last place team in the league and you don't even get a shot on goal. That's embarrassing. I wonder what was said in the New York locker room during the second period intermission. I wonder too. I wonder. You know what was probably said? We're better than them. Let's unload pressure here. That's offside. No whistle though. Length of the ice. Bingo. Alex Carpenter. Big dogs for New York getting it done tonight. Bless you, Tim.
Thanks.
I would have liked to see Sarah Philly get the hat trick, but can't always get what you want. (6-3) New York. Still 0 shots on goal for Ottawa this period, and 6 goals for the New York Sirens this period. That was an exciting game, though. Honestly, as far as this goes, for the first time doing this, I was a little worried we were going to get like a 1-0, 2-1 kind of snooze fest. Like, this is a good game. This was a good game. Saw a couple of goals from possibly the best player in the world. I don't know if we're quite ready to give Philly A that distinction, but I was going to say, is Ottawa going to pull their goal here? No. Whoever that was just tried to go for a big hit and ended up knocking herself down. Wow, that was a huge hit. Oh, they're getting out. Oh, whoa. Whoa. What's going on? A little bit of a dust up in the corner here. That was a huge hit. And then Danielle Serdachny, and who is that? I can't see. Well, you guys wanted a fight. That was as close to it as we're going to get here. Someone's got her helmet off on the Sirens. Coach Greg Fargo's got a smirk on his face right now.
Trying not to laugh.
He's trying not to laugh after his team just came back from down 3 to embarrass a team in a playoff hunt right now. Look at this hit. Oh my gosh. Is that Elizabeth Jaguar? Yeah, I think it might have been. She was not looking, was not expecting that coming. No, that wasn't Jaguar. I don't know who that was. Respect to Danielle Serdachny, though, for sticking up for her teammate like that. You don't got to do that. You're a rookie. Bloody nose? No way. yes, I do think the refs really make a concerted effort to break up these fights before things boil over. Sir Dackney in the box, yeah. Ottawa's playoff race, key upcoming games. They play Boston twice and then Minnesota. Oh, at the end of the year. April 30th, so at the end of the month, really, at the end of next month. All right, 50 seconds remaining in this one.
New York power play too.
Yeah. The New York player lays a big hit, and then Ottawa ends up taking the penalty. That's hockey. They always call it retaliation. A lot of fans have left TD Place. Does New York have their top power play unit out there? I can't really tell right now. That would be some extra salt in the wound if they did. I don't think they do. No, that's another penalty. They didn't call it, though. Why would you? 10 seconds left. What an impressive win from the Sirens. That's the game. That is the hockey game. 6-3 New York. Doubling up the Ottawa Charge. That was really fun, guys. Thank you for joining. I really enjoyed that. Thanks to Justin for stopping by for the second period. What a really fun hockey game. That ended up being way better than I thought it was going to after the second intermission. I was a little nervous, I won't lie. I was like, Justin's leaving. The game's 3-0. Are we really going to get a effort from New York? And then I heard Greg Fargo talk, the New York Sirens coach, before they went in, or before they dropped the puck on the third period. And I could just tell that that was going to be a comeback of some sort, that they were going to try at least. So that was a lot of fun. That was a great hockey game. We're going to do more of that in the future, hopefully. We needed to grow a little bit more. Obviously, this didn't do the numbers that our Chicago Blackhawk streams do, but that's okay. I really appreciate everybody that came by. It means a lot. Yeah, I know I'm not as, eccentric or goofy as our boys Lee and Justin, but I do appreciate everybody stopping by. We're trying to do things. We're throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks. Like this just means a lot to us to even just be able to try it. We're in a space that we're really grateful for, and we're gonna do as much as you can, whatever you guys want. The playoffs are gonna be really good. So that's it. You got anything else, Sully?
No, nothing from me.
No.
Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, you guys are great. Show tomorrow. We've got Andrew Berkshire, covers the Montreal Canadiens, coming on the show tomorrow, as well as, what's this guy's name? Oh, gosh, I don't know. His name is Anthony Donati, will also be joining us, too. So Donati will be joining us in the Prospects Hour. Feels like the Prospect Hour sometimes. The Blackhawks Hour of the show. And then Andrew Berkshire will be joining us in the NHL hour of the show tomorrow. So prospect talk in the first half, Montreal Canadiens talk in the second half as they try and hunt down a playoff spot, although I think they might have lost to the St. Louis Blues tonight. And then we are doing a draft again tomorrow. The draft will be players in the NHL this season. So we're going to, draft teams based off of how well everybody's doing this year. And yeah, that'll be a ton of fun as well. So that is it. Shout out to Tim Tebow for sticking around. Yeah, no, the Blues are up 4-1 on the Canadiens. So they will lose probably a very valuable point or a couple of points as long as they don't, pull a New York Sirens in the third period and come back. But all right, that's it. We'll keep you guys updated on future live streams, both Blackhawks, PWHL, and playoff stuff as we get into it. And I'm pumped for the show tomorrow. I hope you all are too. See you then.